Morning, Troy. Thank you for hopping in.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, brother. How are you today?
Doing amazing.
Yeah. I'm blessed, sister. I'm blessed. How about you?
Blessed by the best. Counting it all joy today.
Amen.
Amen.
Morning, what is going on? Well, let's see. Troy, Lorena, let me know how YouTube is doing. I kind of moved my internet server in a different place or modem. And the numbers are looking great. It's not supposed to, not supposed to rain right now this second. Hold on.
Unknown call.
Oh man, what's going on here? Here it is. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a decent day today. I'm going to run the numbers one more time. Just so y'all know, like, as long as I think it's upload. Yeah. As long as our upload is around 6, we're good. And I've been getting 8s I only did it 5 or 6 times, but it was within the last hour. And I haven't got anything lower than an 8. So... Oh, I'm sorry. 7.94 is the lowest. I just kind of rounded it up to an 8. But everything else was 8 or above, 8 or 9. I didn't see anything higher than a 10. It's like a 9 point.
Look at the image I just sent you.
The image?
Yeah.
Shoot, I like it.
I wonder if you put that up if these Christians would actually know what that is. They're like, why you have that thing up there?
What is that? That's the weirdest cross I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's not a cross, bro.
That's not. Let me look at it again. Hold on. Yeah. You can make them believe you think it's a cross because it's got like pole coming out of the side. It's got.
These guys are worshiping angels.
Yeah, they're worshiping gold. Y'all worship gold and staffs. Hey, Dre, so I've been running.
The Kaaba. That's the golden Kaaba.
The Kaaba. That's exactly what people will say. Man, the ignorance. Hey, so my upload speed all morning has been 8 or above.
That's good.
Yeah, so I moved it to another place, but again, we'll see how good it stays. Great.
I mean, you're not lagging at all right now. You're completely clear. Normally, you're kind of blurry the past couple of days. You're completely clear, not lagging at all. Your mouth actually matches your words.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So I
know Trump's a Bruce Lee fan, but he just slowed up his internet just to look like him when he's talking.
Oh, no, it's not going to look good right now because I'm actually with my mouth. But, yeah, so let's see. What's new? Hey, so nothing about that TikTok key, bro? Nothing? Dre, you there or what?
Oh yeah. I thought it was muted, but I wasn't. Yeah. I haven't. Nope. I was trying to do it on my laptop, but CJ is supposed to be on this. CJ,
I know.
Private CJ is supposed to be on this.
I know. He needs to be. He needs to
be demoted. He needs to be. He needs to be NJP.
Yeah, we're gonna demote him. We're gonna demote him. We're gonna strip you of your rank. And you know what? We're going to do something that's never been done before. We're taking away your time and service and time and grade. You're at 0 starting today after 10 years.
Hey, look, Christian's like, what? That means I get a promotion? I get promotion?
Oh, no. See, look, you got the general, right? And then you got the general's worker, and then you got the general's bird, and then you got the poop, right? So CJ would be the burb. Christian, you'll be the other end of that. Shouldn't have to say what that is. Shouldn't have to say what that is. Chris is like, that's enough. I can't stand no more.
Man, he was Christian.
What'd he do?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Because he didn't have a mod. I said, if Trout would have gave you mod, I would have took it away anyways.
Yeah, but the battle of the mod status.
What are you talking about?
Some people just can't handle it.
They can't handle the mod status.
No. I haven't even checked if I still have mine.
Christian would have dropped everybody.
Oh, well, the past couple of months, I deleted a bunch of people and slowly started putting. So I don't know if you're deleted or not, Bill. Just check.
Let me see if I can drop Christian.
Listen, man, I'm glad I don't have mod powers. So when y'all brought up old Crazy Boy the other day, I couldn't be blamed.
I made the cut.
Yeah, I have to do it every once in a while. I gotta because before you know it, you got 25 mods. I don't need that. D-Scale don't need that many mods. I was like, how I get so many mods? It may not have been 25, but it was in the 20s. It seemed like
5 of them accounts are mine.
Well, yeah, I think
on which one I come with.
Yeah, I think I'm. You know what? I actually might have kicked one of them, or maybe 2, until it clicked in my head. Like, wait a minute, I think those are Trey's.
It don't matter. I try to come with different accounts because I go in different accounts and I do things, and then I come back and then they see me live and they'll come to these scales. So it's like my fishing hook.
My fishing hook. Yeah. Let's see. So yesterday. What's up, man? We got some current events today, or we don't got none today? What's up?
Oh, actually, we do. I do. Hold on, let me pull them up. So, for those of you guys that don't know, Pakistan and India are really going at it now. So apparently, 100 soldiers were injured in India. So, hold on, let me pull up my current event. Yeah. I was reading earlier. It was 100 soldiers were injured. So these two countries are really going at it. And again, if you guys don't know, if you weren't here yesterday or wasn't paying attention, these guys they actually have nuclear power. So and they got them pointed at each other. And I've actually been on that border. It's kind of crazy because it's just a river that separates both of them. A real dirty river, by the way. You go in that river, you die anyways. But that river right there, they actually have military people, one facing the other, and they have weapons pointed at each other consistently. So the claim was that right now it says India claims over 100 militants were unalived, while Pakistan reports shooting down multiple Indian drones and a Rafale jet. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know if you know what that is, Trout. A Rafale jet?
A Rafale jet? Yeah, that's probably the first airplane that the Wright brothers made.
It's a kite. It's a kite.
Yeah, it's a heavy kite. It's got metal in it. Yeah, they shot one down. Matter of fact, they used David's slingshot to knock it down. It only took a couple of hits.
Bro.
No.
Well, both nations, as of right now, have closed down their airspace, and it's affecting flights and schools, and fears of further escalations could be very, very detrimental. And just keep that in the radar. The other thing was we talked about the papal conclave. So they've already met 2 days in a row. And guess what, guys? We've only had black smoke come out of the Vatican. So there is no indication as to
That's it. The next pope's going to be black. That's what they're telling us.
Hey, that might be it. That might be it. Another thing is Trump has now proposed significant reductions in the federal scientific funding. So economists warns that these cuts could have long-term negative impacts on the GDP and innovation. So I'm not really sure. That comes from NPR, by the way. So them cutting these federal scientific funds. I used to work at a federal compound where they had like this. They had one. It's only two in the whole world. One of them is in North America, one is in South America. They had, I should show you a picture. I have it somewhere. It's a ginormous press try. I'm talking about like huge. I'm talking like maybe if I had to guess, it would easily be about 2 to 3 stories tall inside of this warehouse. And they would do a show every year for all the federal employees. And I would go with, they would take the kids and stuff. And they had like this ginormous press that would push down on concrete. And they would go upwards of like 400 million pounds to explode concrete. And it would like explode the concrete into dust. And the reason they used that was to test the concrete strength. So when they build skyscrapers. So in the United States, that's in Denver is where they would go test the concrete for all of the world, basically. They would test the concrete there in this particular press. We have the only one in North America. So that would be part of this cut that they're doing. So these are scientific fundings that they're trying to cut, and that could be a problem. China. Ease tariffs on U.S. goods. Imagine that, Trot. So China has announced tariff exemptions on select imports, including pharmaceuticals, microchips, and aircraft engines from its 125% tariff. They've lowered it to basically say no tariff on this. Why? Because they need our medicine, they need our microchips, and they need our aircraft engines.
All right, so what about Jay? I hate the news. We just do it for just for current events. So what's up with I seen a few things about it. I even went to go look at it. I think I only saw one that was actually talking about it. But for some reason, the mainstream news, I guess they don't want people to know this or what, about how much money in the past 100 days Trump has brought to America. Have you seen that? Has anybody seen that? Seen that, Dre?
I'm looking.
Yeah, the one you posted in the Discord.
Yeah.
That's only been one. Yeah. They've been silent.
He's raised the game. He's done a lot. I mean, the tariffs that Dre's talking about alone, that was unexpected. So
yeah, he uses tariffs like $5
trillion.
5 trillion in 100 days. In 100 days. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is according to the White House press. It says in the first 100 days of President Trump's second term, his administration has announced over $5 trillion in new investments pledged to the United States from foreign governments.
I don't think they can fathom what that really means. 5 trillion. I really don't. I'm being honest. I really don't. I don't think people listen, guys. $1 million is not a lot of money anymore. Okay, it's more than I have. I don't have $1 million, so it's more than I have. But $1 billion is still a lot of money. Let me make myself real clear.
The billion is a new million.
No, it's a little better than that. It's a little better than that. A billion.
It's the new, like $1 million 20 years ago is what $1 billion is today.
Nah, I'll say 100. Because $1 million 20 years ago was $1 million. Like it was a lot of money. Even 30, 40, even 40, 30, 20. It was $1 million is not a lot right now. Okay. But $1 billion, like, let me just say this. If you want to say what would be equivalent to $1 million today, it would be 50 million or 25 million. That's the equivalency. But $1 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, okay? Just 1 billion. We're not talking about 10 billion, 50 billion, right? 500 billion. No. In the trillions in 100 days. In the trillions. And for anyone to try to downplay that, I really think that you need some psychiatric help if you're going to
Big Net just asked a good question. So right now, the total U.S. national debt has reached 36.5 trillion. So if we're getting 5 trillion back in investments right now, that's actually a good stepping point towards getting this deficit down.
Yeah, and Doge is showing where all that money's been going.
And Trump hasn't even been in office for a half a year.
No, it's been 90 days. It's been 3 months.
So imagine like his full term.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I never want to. I'm saying if things keep going this way, obviously it'd be great. I voted for him, hoping that he does. So far, he's done everything he said he was going to do. But he can easily flip the page and say, "Okay, we're burning America down," and say, "All right, well, you done flipped out," you know. But you know, again, our faith is not in any government official. But when a government official is claiming they're going to do something and people vote for that person, they just need to be doing at least, I don't know, more than half, at least 75%. I guess if you can do at least 75% of what you said, because you do know that people can hold each other back. So, guys, hey, let me say something real quick. Y'all see that name down here, JH4JC? I want everybody to give him a thumbs up if you can. I don't know how long his significant other, or about to be significant other, I think has been coming, but he's been coming like faithfully for a long time. And let me just say that the dude he's an all right dude, man. I don't want to sit here and beat a drum, and everybody here needs a pat on the back every once in a while, but he doesn't come on the panel like most of us. Everybody sees my mug every day. Everybody sees, you know, Christian Breezy, Jennifer's been coming for a minute. Nina, Ryan's not been here as long as a lot of people. Bill has, Dre, Kelly ain't been here very long, but at least Kelly comes up on the panel when she can, even though she's obviously like super busy. And JH, he ain't came on a panel yet, and so I just want everybody to give him a thumbs up. And I don't want to go through any specifics, but you know, a matter of fact, JH, let me ask you, how long is your, I think, fiance, right? I don't know if somebody read the comments the other day, but it was a red label that was there. Sorry and soon. Oh, you're good, man. Hey. JH, how long is your, I think, fiance? How long has she been listening in? As long as you have, or what? Oh, okay. All right. So I just wanted to randomly, and look, guys, you know, it's not easy patting somebody on the back, because even while you're doing it, there's dozens of people in your head that you want to go pat on their back. How do you give a thumbs up? Hey, Dre, you there?
Yeah.
You know that guy we went to, you know that guy we went to go eat at Bubba's with?
Yep.
He's right there. Prestige contract.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he said, how do you give a thumbs up? You got it.
Kind of can't, I don't think.
Well, you gave a slap to the face hand. You used the same thing. There's a thumb up in there. Hey, you know what? Click on somebody. Bradley, click on JH's name. Let me see. Let's see, just on own account for approximately 2 to 3 months. Okay, I see. Bradley, the person's name is JH4JC. Just click on that person's name. And if not on the name, like try to find one where there's a comment, and they'll ask you if you want to respond, and you can respond just by putting some thumbs up. See how Nina did it? Nina gave some thumbs up.
He got it. He did it.
Oh, did he?
To Judy. Yeah. So let me wrap this up real quick.
Yeah, wrap it up.
So,
wrap it up.
Real ID is a real problem right now for those of you guys that don't have it. So people are losing flights in Chicago O'Hare and George W. Bush. Listen, and so you guys already know what Real ID is. It's basically got like Real IDs are marked with specific symbols that are typically a star in the top right hand corner, and these are to basically verify that you are kind of legal in this country in a way, because there's people that are in the country that have a driver's license, but they're not legal, so they can't get the Real ID. So the Real ID is very important in that sense for traveling, going back and forth, and so on and so forth. And it also cross-references you with Social Security Administration and other federal bureaus. So there's like a connection there, so people know that you're a real person, that you're not like some weirdo. Now, the last thing is because of Real ID, when you have something that is necessary to have, what usually happens is you get scammers. So now the problem is that there's fake websites out there. So y'all be careful, D-Scale, going to these random websites that aren't .gov or .state that don't come from the government, and people are paying big dollars to try to bypass the DMV, and all they're doing is getting scammed because these Real ID application processes are just scammers. And there's been a lot of reports with the BBB. For those of you guys that don't know, that is the Better Business Bureau. They have a lot of reports of this. So just follow official DMV procedures and avoid falling into these traps of identity fraud or theft. And that is the news for today.
And that is how the cookie crumbles. So obviously, if you don't already know, and I know Kelly's not going to mind, but I don't think she's going to go put her business out there to everybody, but her dad is, he's up there in age, and we all have a parent that, if not a parent, a loved one, if not a friend, if not a boss, if not someone who hates you, but you have someone in your life, at some point they're going to be old and going through the normal life issues of dealing with old age. And if you don't know what that age is different for everybody. I know people in their 30s going to the doctor because they have cancer and they're 30 years old. So we can say, well, they're not old. Yeah, I know that. Okay. But what I'm saying is those are typically old age issues. The older people are dealing with these kind of health issues normally. And Kelly's dad's having a few of them, and she's the one running around and having to deal with all that. And, but she's doing the normal thing that everybody would do. Like, hey, this is happening. What do you think? It's normal. Like, hey, now this is different. Like, what do you think about this? And you just got to remind them, because remember, it ain't at the time. It's not your family member, friend, or hater that's sick. Okay. Because everybody has one in your circle. I don't care if it's family, friend, or not. But you have to remember to wash their feet and tell them the truth. That's what you need to do. If you play patty cake with their feelings, all you're doing is feeding the thing that the next time they have an issue, they're going to have to be fed that again. But if you tell them the truth, you empower them for the next episode, whatever that may be. And you're supposed to empower them little by little. And eventually, they're really not going to anybody with problems because they're able to speak life and truth in themselves. And that's the whole point of the Bible using honeybees when it's referring to, sweetness. It's bee. The honeybee in the Bible is representing how the Spirit feeds itself. The Spirit counsels itself. The Spirit doesn't. Who does the Spirit go to? And when the Bible tells us that we were made in His image, in His likeness, it's because we are supposed to be able to stand firm on what is true. Right? That's how it's supposed to be. That's why He made us in His image, His likeness. So we are going to be as He is, which means we don't run and cry to Him about everything. We only do it one time. One time. That's when you first came to Him and cried to Him, and then He empowered you with the iron rod, which is pointing to the shadows in the Old Testament, who's referring to the Messiah that was the one that made it possible for us to come back to Eden so we can eat from the tree of life, which as soon as you received your salvation, the only way that happened is because you believed what the tree said. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And I believe him. And because I believe him, I ate from his tree, not the other tree that is trying to get you to focus on what is good and what is evil. All that does is question whether you're good or whether you're evil. That's all that does. That type of understanding does not show you whether you're right with God or not. These fools that are reading the Bible in the beginning, looking at the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and then saying, oh, but it's good for us to have good. It's good for us to have evil and understanding of good. It's good. No, bro, if that was good, then God would have gave Adam and Eve that understanding. He didn't. It wasn't good for them to have that. If it was, matter of fact, after he made everything, he didn't just say it was good. He said it was very good. And that's when Adam and Eve didn't have the knowledge of good and evil. So now we're saying that they were not very good yet until they got it. No, you're playing games with your own mind. That's not true. What is true is we're supposed to eat and believe from a tree, and that is the tree of life, who is Christ. And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is only one other person. Okay? It's one other person. I know you see the word tree, but at some point you're going to have to start maturing in the Bible. I was talking to a Baptist pastor about a year ago. If it wasn't a year, it was around 8 months ago. And I mean, I know the dude's a great dude. I know he is. I can tell. But I want to tell you, let me tell you what religion will cause you to be very passive aggressive towards other people. They'll become very snotty and they attack you, but they're so used to attacking you in such a passive way that you can't prove they're doing anything wrong. Right? I was telling this guy, because he was like, hey, I heard you got some podcasts, da-da-da. And I said, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, what do you talk about? I can already see the judgment. As soon as he started talking to me, I could see it. I was like, oh, my gosh. It never fails. And I said, well, how'd you hear about the podcast? He goes, oh, well, so-and-so. I said, well, what'd they tell you we talk about? Oh, well, they said you talk about the Bible. I said, so why are you asking me what do we talk about if you know what we're talking about? Now, what other people would see is, oh, why are you acting like that? I know why I'm acting like that. Because I know he's waiting for a moment for him so he can be passive aggressive. And so in some sly way, he can say he doesn't agree. I already knew. So he's like, oh, well, I'm just curious, oh, it's okay. You don't have to tell me. And I said, now listen to what you just said. I told him, I don't have to tell you. I said, he literally just told me that someone already told him that we talk about God. He already knows. Do you not see this? They're very religious people are very passive aggressive. And I said, no. I said, I'll just say, Bobby. I said, hey, Bobby, you just told me that you knew what I talk about. He's like, well, I was asking. I said, no, sir. You just told me that so-and-so told you we talk about the Bible, right? And he's like, well, yeah. I said, so why would you become passive aggressive and say you don't have to tell me, as though you're being held back to some knowledge like you didn't already know we talk about God? He goes, oh, well, this is just getting a little too. I said, you made it that way. I said, you came to the table being very passive aggressive, trying to act like you're being, like you really care about the podcast. And the truth is, you're just trying to figure out how to be. I said, this is how you minister to your people? While they're talking to you, you just passively, aggressively point out what you feel is right or wrong. And he just kind of giggled it off. And he's like, all right, well, but what do y'all talk about when y'all talking about God? So he still wants to do it. But I wanted to let him know that I'm already on to him. Like, I already know what you're doing. I'm just letting you know that. I told him. And I said, now I don't have a problem talking about it at all. I said, because you go ahead and shoot your shot. And he's laughing, but I'm not. So I start telling him what we talk about. He's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, so he don't mind the Bible stuff. I said, okay, let me see if I start talking about current events. Let me see if I start talking about football. Let me see where it's at. So I go, yeah, we'll talk about the news, and I'm looking at him. He's like, oh, yeah. And I said, yeah, we talk about football because I told him, and I said, the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, and he's already got the look. So now he knows. And I'm like, oh, here it goes. And they just can't help themselves. Religious people cannot help themselves. And I said, man, they've already came to my house. It's awesome, da-da-da. I said, and when we get on there, I said, I'm going to joke around. I mean, that's just part of it. He goes, well, it kind of seems like that's why y'all do it. Now somebody tell me, you didn't pick up on it.
Oh yeah, so he was looking.
Oh yeah,
he was waiting. He was waiting, and I already told him. I said, I already know what you're doing. He's like, what? I'm not doing. I said,
anything to discredit the podcast.
That's it. Right, want to discredit. That's it. Oh, so I said, okay. Well, that sounds like that's why y'all do it. Like y'all doing it just to hang out. What's funny about it is, we do talk about God all the time. That's all we talk about. So it's hysterical that someone, and there was only one person listening, and that person, actually, you know what? There's probably two people that kind of heard the conversation. And when he said that, I said, he goes, oh, well, it sounds like that's why y'all do it. And he tried to draw his attention away from me, like to try to talk to someone else. And I said, hey, Bobby, I said, I called you out on what you just did. I said, I called you out before you did it. He's like, well, I don't know what you mean. And he tried to walk away. Like he tried to drop that bomb. So I started walking with him. And I said, hey, Bobby, you did hear me call you out. And he's like, well, no. And the lady that was listening, I said her name. And I said, hey, can you come here? And I could tell he did not like what I don't care. I don't care if you like what I'm doing. I said, hey, did you hear me tell him earlier? And she goes, oh, no, I heard you. I said, okay, good. You see that, Bobby? She heard me say it. So when you did it, she already knew. And he kind of got his head down and he's like, well, you just have a good day. And I said, you need to quit being a scribe and a Pharisee to your people that you're so-called a pastor to. And he's walking away, but he heard me. But this guy did not just start doing this with me. When they do it that quick, Bubba, this is how they live their life. They live their life this way. I brought it up because I saw the dude yesterday. I saw him yesterday, and he was being real nice and kind and all that. But usually that's how they are, like to your face, very nice and kind. But there's just people that. Because it was people in his church that was talking about the podcast. Let me make myself clear, like where this happened. It happened because people were talking about it. Well, he needs everybody to stop talking about it. So how do I get everybody to say, I know next time he's around here, I'm going to go talk to him. And then, it's like, somehow try to find out how to discredit, and they'll use anything. They don't care. They don't care what it is. But
hey, don't let him find out I'm a Jew. He's gonna be like, he got a Jew on there with a beard.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll say this. He's not the kind of person that's like gonna go on the podcast and listen. He's not that kind of person. He's not gonna spend any of his time. He's just going to use the time that he can to discredit it and then move on with his life, hoping that someone heard the discreditation?
Discreditment, or I don't know.
Yeah, the discreditment. Yeah, discreditation. Yeah.
Hey, somebody asked the question yesterday. I don't know if he's still in here. It's not biblical related, but it was a good question. I thought maybe you would know. I don't know. I looked it up, but I don't know if it's true. Where does the term or like the expression beat a dead horse, where does that come from? Is that a Texas thing?
Beat a dead horse? Yeah, it's a country thing for sure. I don't know if it's like primarily a Texas thing, because you got to understand, right? As far as cowboys and stuff is concerned, country boys.
Yeah, like real cowboys come from Montana, like from Yellowstone Ranch. We know that.
No, those are showboats. No. Cowboys come from Texas. Showboats come from Montana and all the rest of it. No. So let me tell you one thing that I have learned. And, you know, I've never been a cowboy, even though I've helped people on ranches for a long time, whether it's feeding their animals, whether it's doing a lot of things on the property. I've learned that there's 3 types of what you would call like a cowboy. And there's actual names from them. I don't remember them. I know one of them is a buckaroo. So you got a buckaroo, a cowboy, and there's another one. But a buckaroo is kind of like, it's kind of like a person that they don't just work. They like that. They literally live like that. From what I've seen. And I know people go, no, that's cowboys. There are cowboys that are buckaroos, though. And I know it's hard to explain, but I've noticed.
You're talking about the Royal Rangers. I was a buckaroo in the Royal Rangers at one point.
Oh, well, a buckaroo is like...
Assembly of God folks.
Oh, well, a buckaroo is kind of like... I don't know how to really... I may not be explaining it right, but they don't just buy a saddle. They make their own saddle. You know what I mean? Like they're a little different. Buckaroo bonsai.
It says they're known for finessing and roping. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because they don't just do the typical cowboy stuff. They do more. And I've met a few of them, and they're different, bro. Like,
so that would be like a wrangler, right? A wrangler would be a different type of cowboy.
Yeah, kind of. Well, no, it's not a different kind of. He's just he just does a very specific job. So there's a bunch of names, and I never became an expert out of all the names.
Cow puncher. What the heck is a cow puncher?
A cow puncher? That's a cowboy.
Oh my God.
A cow puncher is a cowboy. I don't know why, but anyhow, where are we getting at? The heck are we getting at?
It was a dead horse.
No, beating a dead horse. It's kind of like you're trying to travel somewhere, okay, and you got 5 more miles to go, and you know you come out of the desert, you're looking for water, and your horse falls down, and it's literally dying. Like there's nothing, because you're not gonna be able. You're not going to be able to drag that horse to water. If that horse don't get up, bro, it's going to die. So people being mad that they're going to have to walk the rest of the way, they would kick it or start hitting it, beating it up to get it to get up so it can help you, you know, at the same time. But people would say, bro, stop beating a dead horse. The horse didn't even have to be dead. It didn't even have to be dead, but because people were so familiar that, you know, when a horse was not going to get back up after being so exhausted, it was going to go to sleep and just die. So, you know, beating a dead horse, like, what's the point of keep hitting it? Dude, it's dead already. It's not going to get up. What are you hitting it for? So we use that today, like, you know, talking about a subject that's not going to go anywhere, which that's what TikTok does. So 90% of Christians, they beat dead horses all day long. They go in circles all day long. You know this person's not going to change what they believe, and you're not going to give up on the way you see things, and yet they still get on there, and they're beating a dead horse all day, back and forth, just like crazy people. It's craziness, you know. Same thing you see people do in, you know, psycho asylums and freaking prison. They're sitting there arguing about nothing all day long. Waste 5-10 years of their life in one of these places, come back, they're either just as dumb or even dumber. Had an opportunity to learn something, and now just waste their life arguing about nothing. What?
Real quick, one more current event. The freaking New York Knicks have won 2 games in a row in Boston. It was amazing. I love it. I can't stand Boston. I hope Boston gets smoked every time. I just had to drop that in there for Big Net. I know he's in here. He's another sports guy. But, yeah, crazy playoffs right now. The way that it's panning out is kind of nuts. All the road teams have won all the games, Trot.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Except for my Nuggets, man. We got smashed last night.
Wait, you guys played in OKC last night?
Yeah.
Wait, so how many games have they played?
Just 2. It's 1-1 so far.
Wait, so I thought the Nuggets were playing they're playing away?
Yeah, they're playing away. The next 2 games are going to be here.
Oh, I know not to go in the city for the next couple of days for sure.
Heck yeah. Shoot, I wouldn't go to the city until this thing is over about a month. People done lost their minds, man, everywhere.
Oh, bro, when they have the Rockies games, it's the worst. It's worse than the Nuggets game because the Nuggets stadium is kind of off close to the highway, so it's not too far in the downtown.
Yeah. But
if you're coming from like my area into downtown, that Colorado the Rocky Stadium is like prime like downtown area. It floods that whole area like it's 5 points.
All right. Okay. So let's real quick. Hey. So what's the deal? We're not going to Florida or what?
No, we're going to Texas, bro.
Okay. When?
Film some more content.
When?
I have to get with everybody on Discord. I got to see who's. First of all, let me do this. If you are planning or can or want to go to Texas in the next couple of months, please send me a DM just send me a DM. No, better yet, send me a DM on Discord, not on TikTok. I got too many accounts on TikTok, so I can't keep up with them, and they hide for some reason. Those messages don't go to the top. Sometimes they go all the way at the bottom. I don't know why, but they do weird stuff. So if you are planning on going to Texas, if you have my number, you can text me directly. Otherwise, send me a DM in Discord so that I can see a number count and so that I can coordinate with all these folks, and then I can get with Trot and see what weekend works best. So I'm putting it out there right now because me and Trot, we have big plans for this video that we need to shoot, and some of you guys are going to be a part of it. So make sure you start losing weight now and look good for yourself.
You said losing weight. That's funny. Yeah. So what month y'all talking about, bro?
It depends. The next couple months, I would say.
All right. And the reason, so I knew it was going to happen, bro. I knew we were going to go to Florida. I knew it. And the reason, and I don't even know why. Somebody tell me why would one person have to pay $400 to fly to Florida? I don't
400. But Big Net has to pay like 1,000, 800.
Well, I'm talking about me. It sucker's like $400. And
for me too, bro.
Yeah. So, okay. First of all, 800. Why does he got to pay 800? Oh my God.
Well, here's the thing, Troy. Last night on Benny's live, I was saying like I really don't have the money to be spending like that. So if I'm gonna fly somewhere, it has to be for a very specific purpose. And to me, if I'm gonna go anywhere, I'm gonna go to Texas so we can shoot more podcasts, which is more important to me than going to Florida right now. I think we should plan Florida for like January, maybe like winter break, something like that. Maybe we can go somewhere that time with ample time to buy the tickets when they're less expensive. But right now, it's crazy expensive, bro. So I told everybody if I'm gonna fly to Texas because I'm going to shoot podcasts and get more content, which is where my goal is at right now. Like my mission and my focus is on getting this podcast thing rolling the way that it's supposed to, and I'm not quite there yet. So
yeah, no, we're just
spending money. I'll spend it on that.
Yeah, so at least we got the podcast stuff finally set up, and it seems like it's doing a little bit better every day. I'm just finding a better place to put the modem. And then the intro, there's, we haven't actually started working on the intro, but the ideas are growing, and if the idea that I was having the other day, and I kept playing around with it, and I got the vision of it already. So if that thing comes out the way I'm hoping, like that, it'd actually be a really awesome intro to for D-Scale, because it's relevant to D-Scale too. And I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Yeah, so we'll set up the months here. When we'll go, I'll try to set this up here soon. Shoot, I might even come down with some of my kids, to be honest, the older ones, the adult ones, I should say. Junior is considering going into. Well, he wants to finish his degree and he wants to go probably be an officer in the military. So he already talked about coming down there with you and spending some time with you on the range.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if you're going to do that, you better be the best at it. You better be the top grad for sure. I mean, athletically, there's no reason why you shouldn't.
Well, you did say he's got a slight injury. So that'd be the only reason I think that.
No, he did. He don't got it no more. He had that surgery almost a year ago now.
Oh, okay. So he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's 100% good.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think he was when he first started playing basketball this year. I think he was a little nervous about it because he was just coming off of surgery and off of rehab, so he didn't quite trust it yet. But he's good now. He's back hooping like normal.
Okay. Tell him I'm gonna dunk on him when he comes over here.
Man, I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. I'm gonna find a way how to carry some like real thin, light step ladder, so little that nobody's gonna notice it. It's gonna be like in my pants or my shorts or whatever. And then I'm gonna run up there with that ball, and I'm gonna travel the whole time. And as soon as he starts,
all you gotta do is eat like 15 bean burritos and just blast off.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna just sprint with that ball in my hand, and as soon as he starts yelling "travel, travel," I'm gonna push him to the ground and pull out that bench and use it to dunk. And I'm gonna say I dunked on him, and I'm gonna hold it to him for the rest of his life.
Great. Not only that, while we're still on basketball, man, I think you left out a key detail for the Knicks game is that they've come back from 20 now twice in a row to win in Boston.
God, they came back twice from 20. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't think Boston is winning this series. I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers are winning this series. And as a matter of fact, if either of those two teams lose this 7-game series, it would be pretty bad, bro. Actually,
I mean, the Cavs have a lot of injuries right now. That's why they're losing. There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, Darius Garland's out. Evan Mobley's out. Like that's 2/3 of the dream team. They're out. So,
all right. What's your prediction on live right now? For the record, what's your prediction between the Warriors, and who are they playing? God dog it! I'm just drawing a blank.
They're playing nobody.
Timberwolves.
They're playing nobody.
What is your prediction?
They're playing nobody.
No, the Timberwolves are good. Bro.
No, they're not playing nobody. No. I'm going to say Christian. Yeah. Matter of fact, Christian, give us your prediction now. Okay. Don't wait till after 2-3 games and then wait for someone to get hurt and be like, I told you they were good. No. You tell us right now who's going to win, Christian.
With Steph Curry out a week, I think that the Timberwolves go up and probably close it out if Dre's right about Anthony Edwards being the next Michael Jordan.
Don't try to throw me into your mix. Don't try to throw.
It's okay. It's all right.
Such a coward.
I got this.
Throw me in
I got this recorded. I ain't doing no. Listen, this is what's going to happen. Look, yes, it is true that Steph Curry, because he's not going to be playing that first game, possibly the second. Oh, but let's say he don't play that first game. Oh, excuse me. It doesn't mean that the Warriors won't win. Okay, that's not what it means. But it does mean they're missing a key player. So I'll say this. Because Steph Curry is out, he misses that first game, that's probably the reason the Timberwolves will win 2. And I land my plane.
Fair enough. As I'm pulling through the drive-through, Trot, sorry, I have to ask Breezy the question because he said it the other day. Breezy, can you tell me why they have pickle lemonade at freaking Popeyes, man?
It's actually pretty good.
Pickled?
Yeah.
You said pickled lemonade?
Pickle lemonade.
Pickled lemonade.
It's good. It's good.
For
you
your
should try
pregnant
it.
wife.
It's very good. Very good.
Is that from your pregnant wife? Yeah, that's definitely.
Is it actual? Because I will try it. Or are you trolling?
No, it is good. 100%. Try it. It's good.
All right, I'll try it.
But just get one anyway, and so we can see that bitter beer face after you drink it.
I guess I know where I'm going for lunch again.
God, just to get that? My gosh.
Hey, by the way, my prediction is I think the Golden State Warriors are going to pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I say that is just because of their pedigree, and they got Jimmy Buckets, bro. Jimmy Buckets is still a dog. As long as Buddy Hield and Jimmy Buckets keep balling the way that they are, all Steph Curry does is add more firepower. And Steph will be back for game 3. They say he'll be back for game 3, so I think it'll be all right.
Yep. I'm telling you.
Okay. They got state of the they get special kind of medication, these NBA players. They don't recover like we do.
They get
Now if Steph Curry was going to the VA, they're definitely losing. But he does not go
He don't go to the VA?
Okay?
No.
Nah, he don't go to the VA, bro.
He don't go
get ibuprofen.
He don't get his stuff from the USA either. Hey, he don't go to the VA. He don't get stuff from the USA. He gets it from the NBA. You hear me?
Bro, if this guy was going to the VA, I would say he would be getting unalived for a hamstring.
Oh yeah, he'd be unalive for asking for allergy medication. You hear me?
Oh yeah. He'd be done for.
Yeah. All right, man. Where's Benny at? There he is. Homeboy. What y'all got, man? Y'all got some music for me to read? Show me. Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dream. Tell me your dream. Let's go. No, Benny sleeping. Breezy, what's up? Talking to you too. Both of y'all the BBs.
Hey, we was in the previous chapter of 2 Samuel 20 yesterday.
Oh, 2 Samuel 20.
Wise woman.
Huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I said dealing with this wise woman.
Oh, dealing with the wise woman in 2 Samuel. Yeah. Hey, let me say this real quick, guys. If you haven't already, I know y'all all love TikTok. I know it. Y'all all love it. Y'all can't stand YouTube. I get it. But I'm telling you, we still need the algorithm in YouTube to get pushed out. So please, I need everybody to go to @DescaledLive. Excuse me, man. On YouTube, I need you to go in there, make a comment, and please don't go in there and be there 5 seconds, make a comment, and hop out. Please don't do that. Please go in there and stay for at least a minute. That's all I'm asking. At least a minute, maybe 2. Make a comment, stay for another minute or 2, and then leave. That will help. If you only go in there for a few seconds, you're not in there long enough for freaking YouTube to pick up that the growth of the room is occurring. So please, if you want descaled content, now if you're a descaled hater and you just watch from the shadows because you don't want to add to the algorithm, right? So you can just learn and then make people believe that you're just smart and you figured all this out. When the truth is, you've been watching Descaled for 5 years in the shadows, making everybody believe that you're the go-to guy. And you're like, I'm never there. I don't go to Descaled. That's weird.
They don't want you to get credit for their discipleship.
They don't know. Well, not only that, they don't want the room to grow, right? They don't want the room to grow. Their presence would say there's more people here. So what they do is they had 5 years to study, and they still can't discern their left from their right arm. But that's all right.
Bro, you never went over why the prophet disobeyed God and listened to the fake prophet.
Do what now?
Remember in was it 1 Kings? I think it was 1 Kings chapter 13, where the guy said, "Oh, I'm a prophet too. Come to my house." Why did he go over there? I don't remember why he went over there. I still can't figure out why would he do that.
I swear we've gone over this at least 2 or 3 times.
Nope. No, we didn't, bro.
Christian, you said no?
What up, man? 100%. We did not go over
okay, so all right, so Dre and Christian both said no. Does anybody here remember me going over this story in like 75, 80% depth? Nobody? Because I remember. Dre, you're not here every day, so maybe it was one of those days.
A long time ago.
All right, so there's.
I remember.
Okay, so Nina remembers. Benny remembers. which means Christian was just saying no because Dre said no. So, Christian, you have to start using your own head. You just can't go off what everybody else is saying, bro. Even though...
Well, I will say this. I'm not saying that you never went over it, but the last time we started going over it, we only went to verse 6.
Well, I don't know. That's the point. Was nobody brought up verse 6 earlier. It was I didn't go over it.
Well, let me ask the panel then, since they remember. What was the reason?
Hold on. Before we start getting into the details, the point is, okay. Before we move the goalpost, the point is we did go over it. Now, if you're asking to remember. If you're asking them to remember that wasn't the topic, if you want to change the topic and get people on the panel remember, that's a different topic, but it's not going to negate whether we already went over it or not. Right? So make that real clear. But I'm saying we did go over it. So are you saying we need to go over it again? Is that what you're saying?
I just want you to go to the jugular.
Oh my God! All right, fine. No. Let's go to it. What? Let me see.
You say 1 Kings 13?
Yeah, I believe it's 1 Kings or 2 Kings 13. I know it's 13 though. Pretty sure actually.
All right, Dre, we're about to try this pickle lemonade.
Okay, well, don't get mad if you don't like it.
What happened?
Christian, and here's another thing, Christian. If you don't send me a picture of you, your wife, and your baby, you're not married and you don't have a kid. It's your last chance. You got one more chance, bro. One more chance.
My baby's not born yet.
Oh, who was it that just had a kid then?
I thought it was Christian.
No, Christian's is due in July. Right? Yep.
So who just had a kid?
Breezy.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Jordan had a baby not too long ago.
My bad.
Matt had twins that looked like they popped out yesterday, but it's been years. Them twins walking, fighting, already reading Torah, all that.
Reading Torah, discerning the right from the left arm.
Not only that, Trot, but Jordan already seen what I look like. So Jordan know.
How did Jordan How did Jordan see what you look like?
I accidentally we were doing it was either a Discord call or a regular call, and I accidentally had my camera turned at my face, so he saw me, not intentionally, but he knows what I look like.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that has to do with me, though. To be honest with you,
I'm trying to figure out why Christian hiding. Like it's not like you're a wanted man. Are you wanted or something? Like. The Muslims don't
only
want
by
you.
the Islamic believers.
Ain't no Muslims thinking about you. Stop it. You're such a liar. Not one is thinking about you.
Worried that Christine.
Either way, Christian, I better get a
captain, bro.
I better get a picture.
He wants to be wanted so bad.
Assassination attempt by a snapping turtle in my front yard.
That was hilarious.
God, Christian, I swear.
It happened. It literally happened last night. I couldn't believe it. It climbed up cement stairs to get there.
Lord.
All right, Christian, I better get a picture. I better get a picture of you and your heifer barefooted making you a pie in the kitchen, or you ain't married. You understand?
Okay, do you want me to turn my camera on right now?
No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm saying send a picture to me so I can freaking see.
By the way, Trot ain't being weird about that. He asked me the same thing too. When I first started hanging out with him, hey, let me see. Are you a real person? I'm like, yeah, here you go, bro.
Yeah, we're not gonna be catfishing descaled, bro. We're not gonna be catfishing.
Who is catfishing descaled?
You're catfishing, bro. You're posing as a white man. We know you're a 5'5" Asian.
Right,
Stop lying.
100% Asian, bro. Asian addicts. All right, Asianese.
Hey, real talk though. Hey, Flip, if you're listening, brother, I really miss you. I really miss Flip, bro. I need Flip to come back.
Me too.
Where is he at? Hey, is he in here? What made you bring him up?
I don't know. I think about Flip all the time. That's my buddy,
Asian thing. The Asian thing.
Oh, that's right.
Subconsciously, that's
because they all look the same, right? That's what it is. That's the issue.
I miss Flip though. Flip was.
Hey, where's he at? What's going on?
I don't know. He's still. Last time I spoke to him, he's still working somewhere, and he got like a new job. But I don't see him anywhere anymore. Like I'm gonna have to call him.
I think he's nocturnal now.
Oh,
I miss
it comes out at night.
Flip used to make me feel smart, man. I need Flip to come back.
He's shadow
Christian
watching.
took my spot. I'm gonna stay away now.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like they already got the token Asian guy already. We used to Flip. You used to be the token Asian guy, and now we got this other goofball over here. Matter of fact, I want to see Flip and Christian arm wrestle as I drink coffee. That's what I want to see. Please, somebody make that possible.
Oh, it would look like arm wrestling because they both got short arms.
Well, that's true. I'd probably fit right in then. I think all three of us together would be the dark skinned Trinitarians.
Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers. The Three Trinitarians. Three Musketeers funnier. All right, so where are we at, Dre, man? Hurry up, bro. I'm tired of this. Just like I swear it's like 10th time you asked about this.
Bro, I still can't figure out why this guy would just listen to this false prophet.
I'm telling you, we've gone over that question. Why he listened. We went over this multiple times.
You did, but
all right.
I can't say I missed that many days, bro. I don't miss that many days.
Oh my gosh.
You did it when I was in Africa.
All right, so check it out. Benny, Breezy, make sure y'all got y'all's notes together, okay? Because I'm gonna pull out that harp and start playing a tune as soon as y'all pull it out. So get y'all's notes together, because as soon as we're done with this, because we're gonna have to read all of 13, because this ain't gonna make no sense. There's 60 people. 70 people between TikTok and YouTube. And I'm just not going to go straight to the jugular. Those people don't even know what we're talking about. There's half of the people in here never even read the freaking First Kings. No offense to anybody, but I know numbers. Let's see. Jan Jr. All right, I'll give you one circle, Jan Jr. What is God going? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me bring it back up. What is God doing? Not going. What is God doing now, today, according to Scripture? What is he doing now? He's bringing people alive. That's what he's doing now, according to Scripture. Bringing the dead to life by faith. That's what he's doing today. There you go. All right.
Hey, bro. Ryan is a fool.
Oh my!
He just sent me a text message.
Well, if he sent you a text, he doesn't want everybody to know.
No, he does. He doesn't care.
Oh, what?
Because I said, like, hey, man, whoever's going to Texas, start losing weight, getting in shape, for the cameras or whatever. He sent me a video of this ginormous human-sized English bulldog on a treadmill running, like walking, flapping everywhere. What a fool.
All right, so let's see. Jan Jr., I told you I give you one circle. That was half. Here's the other half. All right, it says, that is not according to Scripture. What verse is that? There's multiple verses that says that, and that is according to Scripture. So now I'm questioning whether you've even read the Bible. And Jan Jr., that was your circle. So have a good one. I hope you understand what it is that I'm trying to say. If not, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. And guys, don't allow I don't know why I got to keep telling people this. If the person wants to troll, let them troll, but don't sit there and be arguing with the person in the comments. If they want to stay here, they can, but don't get sucked in. Don't roll the dice. All right. Right now, you should be able to hear the Jumanji drums. If not, then maybe we need to go over that again. All right. So who's reading? We're reading 1 Kings 13.
Oh, sorry.
Who's reading?
I'll read the first 10 verses. Somebody else will take over after that. I'll start it off. It says, and behold, the man of God went to Judah to Bethel by the word of the Lord, and Jehoram stood by the altar of the burnt incense. Then he cried out against the altar by the word of the Lord and said, O altar, altar, thus saith the Lord, behold, a child, Josiah by name, shall be born to the house of David, and on you he shall sacrifice the priest of the high place for burnt incense on you, and the men's bones shall be burnt on you. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, "This is the sign which the Lord has spoken. Surely the altar shall split apart, and the ashes on it shall be poured out." So it came to pass when King Jehoram heard the sayings of the man of God, who cried out against the altar of Bethel, and stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, "Arrest him." Then his hand, which was stretched out toward him, withered, so that it could not pull it back to himself. And the altar also was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of God had given by the word of the Lord. Then the king answered and said to the man of God, "Please entreat the favor of the Lord your God, and pray for me that my hand may be restored to me." So the man of God entreated the Lord, and the king's hand was restored to him and became as before. Then the king said to the man of God, "Come home with me and refresh yourself, and I will give you a reward." But the man of God said to the king, If you were to give me half your house, I would not go with you, nor would I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so it was commanded me by the word of the Lord, saying, "You shall not eat bread nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came." So he went another way and did not return the way that he came to Bethel.
All right, and you read to 10, right?
Yep.
All right, who's reading the rest? So that'd be 11 through 30.
I got you. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken unto the king. Them they told also to their father. And their father said unto them, What way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of God went, which came from Judah. And he had said unto his sons, Saddle me the ass. So that they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, Art thou the man of God that comest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, Come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread, nor drink water with thee in this place. For it is said to me by the word of the Lord, that thou shalt eat no bread, nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou comest. He said unto him, how far am I reading?
You're reading to 22.
22. He said unto him, I am a prophet also as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. So he went back with him, and did eat bread in the house, and drank water. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, for as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and hast not kept the commandment which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but camest back, and has eaten bread and drunk water in the place of the which the Lord did say to thee, Eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of thy fathers.
All right, who's reading from 23 on?
The rest.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him. And his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by it. The lion also stood by the carcass. And behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God, who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. Therefore the Lord had delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. And he spake to his son, saying, Saddle me the ass. And they saddled him. And he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass. And the prophets took up the carcass of the man of God, and laid it upon the ass, and brought it back. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. And he laid his carcass in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother. And it came to pass, after he had buried him, that he spake to his son, saying, When I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the saying which he cried by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel, and against all the house of the high places which are in the cities of Samaria, shall surely come to pass. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way, but made again of the lowest of the people priests of the high places. Whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. And this thing because sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and destroy it from the face of the earth, from off the face of the earth.
All right. All right, Dre. So what's the question?
The question is, why would he not? I guess he didn't read Galatians, right? Galatians chapter 1, verse 8, when Paul said, don't allow anybody, even if it's an angel told you the different gospel. Why is he listening to this false prophet when God already told him not to go there? Why would he be so naive to just fall for that and say, oh yeah, well, God told you? Oh, okay. Well, God told you different than me, but what God told you is correct, and what God told me is not correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like today, right, where someone says, well, how do you know what you know? Oh, because I have the Spirit. Oh, well, the Pentecostals have the Spirit too. The Baptists have, everybody's got the Spirit. How come y'all are all confused, right?
Right.
Yeah. So everybody take a stab at the question. Nobody run. Benny, don't go nowhere. Everybody take a stab.
They should know the answer. You already went over it. I want to see.
Well, first of all, again,
Show me.
Again, you're saying they're supposed to remember the answer. They heard the answer. Whether they remember it or not is irrelevant. So again, starting with Christian, what's the answer to the question?
I'm one of the ones who are still looking for the answer.
Okay, so then just say you don't know, Christian. It's not hard.
It sounds like the garden to me, but I don't know.
Okay, well, are you going to answer? Hold on, Christian. Which one is it? You going to answer or just say you don't know? You're doing both.
I mean,
you still don't know. You still don't know.
Huh? Take a stab at it. You want me to take a stab at it?
Christian, that's why you're going first. Take a stab at it. Yes.
He doesn't.
Okay, I think that it's representative of Adam. And God gave him a command, and that he was then taken to this other guy who was like, oh, surely I'm also a prophet of God, and if you stay with me, and eat and drink, it's fine. So he got beguiled, and he got unalived for it.
All right, next. Who's going next?
I'm just gonna get it out of the way and say I don't know.
All right.
Come back to me. I'm rereading it real quick, see if I can find out.
I'm gonna go next. Also, you guys, and say that I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Who else? Jennifer, what you got? You ain't said a word yet. Jennifer at the house sleeping.
No, I'm just reading the comments. So, brother, I gotta admit that I was not paying attention, brother.
All right. So we're gonna say you don't know then. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna have to say that. You don't know. You should know, but you don't know. All right. Let's see. Kelly, you gonna take a stab at it, or are you still busy?
I'm going to say I'm sorry I don't know. Brothers in and out with doctors in the room, so I'm just listening.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm still going to put you on I don't know list. So we don't need to hear all that. Don't give us no junk, Kelly. We ain't trying to hear that. All right. Let's see.
I'll take a stab at it real quick.
All right. Go ahead.
I want to say this man listened to man over God. Because they were both prophets, right? And then he claimed to be a prophet, and he came to him and lied to him. But this man could have heard from God himself. So yeah, that's my answer.
All right. So your answer is you don't know. All right. All right. All right, Benny, what you got?
I don't know, man.
All right. Man, y'all making this. Yeah, man,
All on one accord.
Yeah, you sure are. You sure are. Lord have mercy. Y'all are all, matter of fact, y'all are so much in one accord, the Spirit needs to leave all y'all at one time, just like they received it in Acts, in one accord of I don't know-ness. All right. Now, I'm going to say this. Dre, are you going to at least take a stab at it, or are you just going to stick with I don't know, somebody hurry up and say something about this is stupid, drive me crazy? What?
I don't know. I think Christian made a good point about being beguiled. Maybe it has something to going back to the garden again.
Yeah, that's why I made Christian go first, because Christian's problem is he questions himself. Christian, if it was up to you to understand all this, I would question your goofy butt too. But it ain't up to you, is it?
No.
Okay, so therefore, instead of allowing what you're used to, allowing your body to question whether you can do something, second guess yourself, instead of allowing those feelings to override the truth of what you've been learning for almost a year now, you need to start relying on what is true, not how your soul was listening to your flesh, lying to it, telling it that you can't do this, you can't do that. Instead of all of that, rely on what is true, because this story is quite simple. It's 100% simple. This is the exact same story of the Garden of Eden. It's the same thing. Don't eat of that. The man's being told not to eat of that. Don't eat. But he was beguiled. And he went over there and he ate. It's so easy. That's 100%. Is what's happening. So again, what's causing confusion is our brain. The story's different. So because the story's different, it's not easy to see that it's saying the same thing, because the story is different. It's not talking about a garden. It's not talking about trees. But what is it talking about? It's talking about someone claiming to know truth, right? The prophet was claiming he knew truth, which was God, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just like the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? The serpent that's in this tree, it was claiming that it knew knowledge. That's what it was claiming. Right? So you can't allow your flesh, because you're so used to like questioning what you're doing or how you're doing it. You have to step out. And if you're wrong, oh well. Who cares? What does it matter? God's not going to fall off his throne because you messed it up. I promise. He doesn't fall off his throne. He's never been dethroned, bro. The only person that's ever dethroned God was himself when he came to this earth. He has never been dethroned by any entity, person, being, never. When he came into this world, it was him that offered his soul for us. No one's ever dethroned him. So having a misunderstanding of scripture, don't allow people to come in, and because you said something that kind of don't make any sense, first of all, I'm going to bust your chops, but that has nothing to do with God. Me busting your chops and embarrassing you in front of everybody, oh, that was stupid. Those things should not affect you. What does it matter? God's not on his throne falling off and calling you dumb. That's not what he does. So at some point, there has to be a separation in your mind. You have to see that your flesh, your soul, and spirit they're distinct. All three of them are. And you have to be able to start discerning when it's your flesh that is questioning what you can do and what you can't do. And if you don't ever put that together to be able to tell your flesh to shut up, and so you can discern in the story how this comes together, if you're not able to do that, then you're just going to continue. So it would be better for you to step out and say what possibly could be true based on the truth you already know. Excuse me. And then you can start trusting that, because that is what we call from faith to faith. So by faith, see, at first, Christian was like, yeah, but then in the back of his head, he's like, well, I kind of know some truth. So, of course, I see the struggle. So I make fun and say, okay, you get an answer or not? Which one is it? And he had to make a choice. He's like, well, I know that the guy was beguiled, which means there's no way which means that you saw that there was a similarity between this and the garden, right, Christian?
Yes.
Okay, so even if you were wrong, who cares? What does it matter? What does it matter if that's not true or that's wrong? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because as soon as you say something that is true, right? As soon as you say something that is true, you'll see that you in order to do that, you had to have told your flesh to shut up, because I'm telling you, your spirit was not telling you, I don't know. That was your flesh. And for some reason, you still hear that first, and then you start questioning, well, hold on. Well, there is a similarity there. And then so the question would be, well, then why didn't you say that? Well, I didn't say that because, and if you went through there, to yourself, like, why didn't I say that? You'll know. It could be, well, the reason I didn't say it is because actually, I just went with my flesh and said, I don't know, because I'm scared of embarrassment, number one. Or number two, the reason why I said I don't know is because when I was thinking of beguiled, I questioned that and I was like, well, it can't be like the garden. Whatever it is, you have to start being, you don't have to tell us. That's irrelevant with us. But with yourself, you have to ask yourself, why didn't I say that before? You need to figure out why you didn't, because eventually you did. So if it was your flesh telling you, no, don't say it because of this or whatever, then now that should be a lesson learned that your flesh lies to you, and you need to be able to tell it to shut up and pay attention to what the person asked you, and then use the truth that you already know is true, so you can, go there with that truth. Do you understand what I'm saying, Christian?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with how smart you are, or how instead of using that word, but it's not about the flesh. It's not about that. It's about what is true. It's not about anything else. So But no, when Christian said that, the reason why I stopped him from talking is because I didn't want him to question it. I was like, okay, who's going to go next? I didn't want him to say, well, matter of fact, maybe not. You know how everybody here by now knows how he is. He'll say something, well, you know, I don't know. And it's like, so I was like, oh God, don't start doing that, because you pretty much, you hit it right there. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as the garden. It's a person who is considered a man of God or a prophet, and God says, don't eat. So then he's pretty much asked to eat, and he goes, oh no, God told me not to eat. And I understand that it says don't eat or drink. I understand that. It doesn't change the context of the Bible in its entirety. It changes nothing. 100%. But this person allowed someone to tell him, oh, but I'm a prophet. It doesn't matter. God said don't eat. Period. That's what God, it's kind of like in the military, if someone outranks you and they give you an order, and then here comes another person that outranks you and tries to give you another order over the one that gave you a command first, you don't leave your post to do what the other one said. You say, whoa, the last order I was given is to stay right here until he comes back. It don't matter. I outrank him. Nope. I'm sorry. He told me to stay here. Now you can stay here with me, and when he gets back here, you can argue with him, but I'm not disobeying what he told me to do, or she, depending, what you do in the service. But I'm saying the last thing that this prophet was told by God himself was don't eat. But he allowed to be fooled and beguiled by this quote unquote other wise person or prophet. And because of that, it led him to his death, just like Adam and Eve, right? Right, Dre?
Yeah, so
hold on, Benny. Dre, you got that? Did you hear it this time?
Yeah. I got it the first when Christian said it. I heard it.
All right, so
I
clicked right there. That's it. Christian said the 100% truth of what was going on here. He was beguiled. But again, to a lot of people, that's not going to bring them back to the garden. It's not going to do all that. To a lot of people, they're just going to hear, okay, he was fooled. But they're not going to be able to put it together like what the Bible is constantly telling all of us over and over, that we are supposed to see God as truth, nothing else. So if God says all these things about us, and someone comes and goes, no, that's only true if you stop sinning. Bro, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the flip side to that would be like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they're being told to bow down before a carnal god, a fake god, and they say, no. Even if we unalive, it's fine, no problem. I'm not going to do that because God told us not to do that. So that would be the flip side of this story.
Well, but it's still the same thing, because remember, eating is believing.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that's the flip side, is like the ones that didn't eat it. Like they're like, nah, we're not eating that nonsense.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. I'm just saying it's same context. Same context is eating is believing. So what the three guys are saying, Abednego and his two buddies, what they're saying is, we don't believe that that's God. Therefore, we're not buying it. We're not eating it. The merchandise you're selling, we don't believe you. So the person that was trying to get them to do it got mad. Do you understand? But because they belong to God, they couldn't get hurt. Why? Because the one that they do bow down to is more powerful than anything else. That means no matter what, you just believe what God says. Even if it looks bad, at the end of the day, it will be to your benefit that you did what God told you to do. Now, if you're crazy, pardon my French, and you go around and you think that red slug bugs are the devil, so you're going to go burn all the red slug bugs, and you said, well, God told me, my friend, whoever you are, the Bible did not tell you to do that. But there are people that when they hear someone say, if God told you to do it, you do it. And then you hear people, they go do this crazy stuff. They go, God told me to do it. No, my friend. No, God. How do you know? You don't know if God told, bro. The Bible makes it very clear that God is not telling any of his people today to go do things that's taking your butt to jail. Okay. And I'm talking about criminal acts. I'm not saying that you have 5 to 10 people in your house and you're having a Bible study and they come raid your house and say, hey, you're preaching. That's called persecution. Okay. But you doing a criminal act, I'm talking about quote unquote 10 commandment stuff, unaliving, beating people up or whatever. You're doing some basic criminal activities. So if he says that you are...
Oh, he's still talking like he didn't realize that it cut off.
Oh, try. We can't hear you, bro. You missed it all.
That's funny.
Oh, what happened?
You know,
we must all of that.
You cut out for some reason, bro. I don't know
what'd y'all hear? What'd y'all hear last?
If you're preaching in your house and somebody comes in, that's persecute. Persecute. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't say much. I didn't say a whole lot after that. I just talking about that. That if you're inside of your house and they, people come raid your house and say, hey, y'all are, get out of here. You're going to jail. We told y'all no more ministering, nothing. And you're preaching and you're going to jail. All I'm saying is that's persecution. That is not the other stuff. So the point I'm making is God is always telling us who we are in Christ. That's all he's telling us 100%. He's not worried about every little thing, how people are trying to, like when Jesus says, the birds don't worry, you don't need to worry. That's exactly what he's saying. You don't need to worry, meaning if you believe in what God said, even though it looks bad here, at the end of the day, it would benefit you way more if you just believe in what God said about you. And what he says about us is that we are co-heirs with Christ. That's what he says. So the more you're focused on that truth, the more, your mind can be at ease about who you are because you're focused on what is true. So that's what I'm referring to is everything that God says about us is to keep us focused on him, to be Christ conscious. Our consciousness needs to be on Christ, not anything else. So that's all I was saying. Let's see. Hold on.
Apparently, Bitcoin's back up, y'all.
Hulk is throwing a party at his house.
Do what?
Hey, y'all don't stoke the fire. Don't stoke the fire. All right, just let the fire burn out. Hey,
Facts.
In the comments. So look, we see the lion represents Satan, right? He roams around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. What about the ass that was just there?
What about it?
Like, it mentions it for a reason. What is the purpose of it? Saying, okay, the lion stood there next to the carcass and the ass, but it didn't tear the ass up or rent the ass.
Yeah. So what is the line referring to? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say.
Well, I mean, in one sense, it represents Satan. You know what I'm saying? Who
yeah.
Goes around seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah. And, so hold on. Let's say something about that. So if it's understood that like what happened in the garden, we know that it was Satan that unalived Adam, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So here, because it's literally referring to God saying, don't eat. That line, even though we can say because, God punished him or God, we can say that 100% we can. But the truth of the entire matter is the beguiling. This comes from Satan, so he can unalive. So the line is 100% representing the line that unalives. That's what it's representing. Because that's who does the beguiling, right? All right, so now the body of the man is there, and it says that the ass is there too. So now what?
Is that spirit, soul, and body? Now he has a dead, his flesh is dead, or so his flesh is dead. He has the spirit of a dead spirit like his father, you know, which represents the lion, and then his soul, would be that ass. Yeah,
that's what it's referring to. So let's go to even though this is a male ass, which shows, because it's not a female, because if it was, it'd be representing life and wisdom, but it's not. It's a male. So if we go to the story of Balaam, where Balaam's ass is talking to him, what we see is the donkey says, hey, you know, have I ever done anything to, you know, like this before? He said no. And the person that was holding the sword, does anybody remember what that being said? What that angel said to Balaam?
That he was unalive him. He was going to strike him with the sword.
Yeah, but it says something about the ass. Let's go to it real quick. Let's just go read it in scripture.
Is that how you remember?
That your ass saved you.
Somebody go to the scripture. Somebody go to the verse. Should be Numbers 35, I think.
All right.
Numbers 22.
Oh, my bad. 35 is a city of refuge.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Numbers 22.
Start at 21, roughly.
Okay.
If you just want to get to the part where the angel said what he said, right?
Do what?
You want to get to the part where the angel said what he said to him, right?
Yeah, what the angel was saying to him. Yeah.
Yeah, start at verse 32, Breezy.
Let me say something to someone on YouTube. It says God proved the point that it was a judgment call. The lion wasn't hungry. The lion had an assignment to destroy. No, this was not a judgment call. That's what it looks like at first, but that's not what it is. Has nothing to do with even though that's what it looks like, but that's not what it is. It's no different than Adam and Eve eating from the tree of knowledge, good and evil. It wasn't God trying to judge them. The tree of knowledge, good and evil is Satan, and Satan murdered. That's why the Bible says that he was a murderer from the beginning. So Adam and Eve were not judged by God and killed. No, the Bible makes it very clear that Satan murdered them. That's what it's referring to when it says that he's a murderer from the beginning. So I want to clarify that. All right, who's reading?
I got you. Numbers 22, verse 32 says, and the angel of the Lord said unto him, wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I have slain thee and saved her alive.
And saved her alive. I would have slain you and saved her alive, is what was told to Balaam. Okay, so the question is, why was the prophet slain, quote unquote, but the donkey wasn't?
Yeah, I'm seeing that donkey as representing, man, because when you go back to the root of it, it means like ruddy, redness. It also means like pitch, like daub.
Yeah, but okay. Hey, tell me, it's been a minute since I studied the male and female. What's the difference in the name? Like if you go to the male or the female donkey, what's the difference?
One is Hamor, the other one is Atan. like adding ATON. The other one is that's the female ATON. The other one is HAMOR.
Yeah, yeah. I thought one of them started with a C. What is that?
That's the H. That's the HAMOR.
Okay, so that's the one that's like the number's like 2573 or something like that.
43.
43.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that one's the one that's should be male donkey. It should be red, ruddy, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So again, why is the man slain? And then you have the lion there, and then you got the donkey there. So what? Like I mean, we literally the pillar itself has been given, so it should be easily seen. Like what these, why the lion's there, the donkey, and the man. Anybody?
What was the question? I got a phone call, bro.
The question is, you have, what is the meaning of this? The lion, donkey, and the slain man there in the road.
Is it representing Adam after they fell?
Well, we've already established that like 30 minutes ago, Breezy. Yes.
Well, no, I'm saying like as far as like the dead spirit, the soul,
is it like the
body?
Like, is it like wisdom? Wisdom is dead. Basically, the spirit is dead throughout the Old Testament. Like slain because of man's disobedience, meaning they had to be like their heart. Now they don't have the wisdom of God, I guess.
Right, the stony heart. Yeah.
Well, I mean, y'all are tracking, so put it together. So what is this? When I say it, there's no denying it. There's no denying what this is. Like none.
Yeah, I think the it represents the soul of man. He tore the carcass.
What does? Hold on. What represents what?
The ass represents the soul of the man. Satan couldn't destroy the soul, but he could. He unalived the spirit or the body. How should I say it? Like
flesh.
Nah, I recant.
No, I think you're right. I think the donkey represents the dead spirit of man, because it was the donkey wasn't ate. He didn't devour it. It just was unalived. Like he is. It makes it very clear that it didn't rent it. It just unalived it because of the disobedience.
Okay, so all right. So the next question is the donkey alive?
No, it's not alive.
It
not is alive.
Let's go look at it again. Let's go look at it again. Somebody go to the verse.
It says, and he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. All right, the lion had not eaten the carcass nor torn the ass.
Okay, so is the ass alive or not?
It's alive.
All right, so the ass, so the ass is alive. So.
Oh, I thought he laid the donkey and the ass together on the cart or something like that. Maybe I'm misreading it.
So the ass represents wisdom then.
No, I'm going to say the ass represents Christ. That's why it's ready and ruddy, because the prophet came and listen, the prophet came and put the man of God. I mean, the prophet came and took the carcass and laid it on the ass.
Okay. And then?
Oh, okay.
Brought it back.
And did what? Keep reading. Then what?
And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him.
All right. And then what?
And he laid his carcass in his own grave.
Right.
And they mourned over him, saying, "Alas, my brother."
Okay. And then when it talks about when other people pass, what does it say?
And it came to pass after he had buried him, then he spake to his son, saying, "When I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones."
What does that mean? Throughout the Bible, what that man is explaining, lay my bones with his bones. What does that mean? We talked about this.
From the dirt that you come from, the dirt you return to.
Okay. Other than that, what does it say?
Does it go back to? Does it go back to like resurrection?
No.
Like,
what does it? What does it say? What does it say?
They slept with
my
their
father.
fathers.
Yeah, slept with their father. What does that mean? Why would he want to be laid with the prophet?
Because he was a man of God.
Yeah, because he was a man of God. So slept with the fathers. Who else in the Bible we went over referring to them?
Elijah.
Okay, who else?
Or Joseph.
Yeah. So constantly you see this picture of these people wanting to go sleep with their fathers. So sleeping with their fathers means what? We're not talking about daddy, mommy, daddy, goo goo gaga. What does that mean?
They're going to the same place.
Right. The same place. Right. Same place. So all right. So then what? So what else? This man was a prophet. This man was a prophet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if he was a prophet, could he be considered born again? Not in those days because Christ wasn't here, but by faith, is this man born again?
Yes.
Which one? The fake prophet?
No,
or the real one?
The prophet, bro. The prophet, the one that's unalive.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so if he's born again, what dust does he come from?
The good dust.
The good dust. Yeah, the good ground. So he goes back to the good ground. Just like Adam. Adam came from the good ground. He ate, died, but he's going back where he came from.
So
they went to Abraham's bosom.
But who does a false prophet represent? Like, why is this cat talking about some bury me with him? You lied to this man and got him killed.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny because the old prophet, it reminded me of that old serpent. Like how
Yeah, but the old serpent don't get buried with the bones of the prophet. They don't go to the same place.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, why is he mourning? And it's like he didn't know he was. It's like he didn't know he was getting. He didn't know he was putting Buddy in the cross.
That's my point. It's like, why is this guy talking about, oh, bury me with this guy? He was a true man. You a liar.
All right, hold on. All right, okay, hold on. Are we sure? I just want to make sure. Are we sure this is the same prophet?
Yeah.
All right, so prove it. Prove it to me, so everybody understands what y'all are over here bickering about. Prove it that it's the same prophet.
The false prophet. Well, we have to read it again.
Yeah, right here it says.
Yeah, that's right.
Right here it says in verse 29, and the prophet took up the carcass of the man of God and laid it upon the ass and brought it back. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him.
All right, so let me go to Breezy. Mute your mic, bro. Or somebody mute him. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. And behold, man passed by. No, I went too far.
29.
No, 29 is too far. Hold on. All right, so 16, he says, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, thou shalt eat no bread nor drink there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with thee into thy house, that he may eat bread, drink water. But he lied unto him. So he went back with them and did eat bread in his house and drank water. And it came to pass, let's see, that he sat at the table. The word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. All right, it says the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord. Okay, so someone tell me what's going on here. 20, it says, And it came to pass, they sat at the table, that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. So was God talking to the prophet that lied and brought him back?
It looks like it.
Okay.
That's what it seems
All
like.
right, and then in 21 it says, and he cried. Who's crying here?
The same prophet.
Okay, so the liar is telling the one that came back, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that because 29, this is where we got to be right here. So it says, and he cried unto the man of God, this is 21, that came from Judah, saying, so now he's about to, thus saith the Lord to him, and he's the one that brought him. So is this man here? Okay, hold on, listen. Is this man hearing from God or not? Is he a prophet or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I just want to establish that he's not lying that he's a prophet. He's a prophet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's not. I know, but let's not confuse the lie he told. Let's not confuse that with him lying that he's a prophet. Clearly he is, because he's about to thus saith the Lord his butt, right? Okay. All right. So he says, and he cried unto the man of God, come from Judah, he says, saying, Thus saith the Lord, for as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and has not kept the commandment which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but camest back, and hast eaten bread and drank water in the place of the which the Lord did say to thee, Eat no bread, drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the spelchler of your fathers.
Bro, this is sounding like I think the prophet is representing Jesus in a way, because it said
hold on. There's two prophets.
You gotta let me say it.
No, hold on. Listen. If you're going to say the word prophet, either are you talking about the liar or the other one? Which prophet are you talking?
I mean the man of God.
Okay, so not the liar.
No, the man of God.
All right, the man of God. All right, go ahead.
It said he wasn't laid in a sepulcher with his fathers, but in his own grave.
Yeah, but in his own grave.
Christ was put in the grave where no man had ever laid.
Yeah, it says right here. It says, Your carcass shall not come unto the spelchler of thy fathers. And it came to pass after he had eaten bread and after he had drank, that he saddled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he had gone, it says, the lion met him by the way and slew him. And his carcass was cast in the way, and he stood by it. And the lion also stood by the carcass. And it says, and behold, man passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of God. So he knew that he got killed in the road, right? Pretty much. Correct?
So there's three prophets.
Hold on. I want to make sure that we understand what prophet is what. Okay? So first, I just want to establish that the one prophet that lied to the man of God was a prophet. So he's not lying about being a prophet, because he literally just does say at the Lord this dude's butt. So that happened, but he did lie. He still lied. All right. So,
but real quick, I need to understand. So you're saying that there is a lying prophet?
No. Hold on. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just reading scripture right now. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Hold on.
Okay,
let me finish. Let me finish reading. All right. So 26, it says, and when the prophet that brought him back. So this would be the prophet that lied, right?
We don't know. That's where he's at. That's what he's trying to ask.
Hold on a second. Look, it says right here. It says, and when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard. So the prophet that brought him back
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking. Is that the old prophet? Because it says they went to
No, hold on. Hold on. This is the question. This is the question that I'm asking. Is this referring to the prophet that lied to bring him back? Is that what it's referring to? Watch. Just listen. It says, and when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, it is the man of God who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. So isn't that the same prophet that lied?
Not according to verse 25.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Okay, verse 25 says, and behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass. And they came and told it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. So you're saying that the old prophet and the 26th prophet is two different people?
That's what I'm asking. Is the old prophet the lying prophet?
Yeah. So they can't look. So when they came and told the old prophet, 26 says, and when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard. So this is the same prophet. They went to the same prophet that lied, brought him back. 25 says, and the city where the old prophet dwelt. So they told it in the city where the old prophet. So the old prophet heard, 26 tells us right here, when he heard thereof, he said, it is the man of God who was disobedient. He knows he was disobedient because he thus saith the Lord his butt, that he was disobedient. So he says,
I'm tracking.
So he says, who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord? Therefore, the Lord hath delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and slain him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. And he spake to his sons, saying, so now he's telling his sons, saddle me the ass, and they saddled him. And he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass. And the prophet took up the carcass of the man. This is the same, thus saith the Lord prophet. And the prophet took up the carcass of the man of God and laid it upon the ass and brought it back. So he brings him back again. And it says, and the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. And it says, and he laid his carcass in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, alas, my brother. So this is how you know they're black. My man, just like what's the name says in that one movie. And it came to pass, after he had buried him, that he spake to his son, saying, when I am dead, then bury me in the sepulchre wherein the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones, for the saying which he cried by the word of the Lord against the altar of Bethel. So now we're going to go back to the altar here in a second, and we're going to try to figure out, why would he say, lay my bones with his bones? Because when he spoke out at the altar at Bethel, and we know Bethel means bread. What does it mean?
House of God.
House of God. Oh, my bad. Oh, Bethlehem is house of bread. Yeah, I'm tripping. It says the altar Bethel, and it says against all the houses of the high places which are in the cities of Samaria shall surely come to pass. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way, but made again the lowest of the people priests of the high places, whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. And this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and to destroy it from the face of the earth. Okay, so before we talk about the carcass, lion, and man, why did this prophet, the prophet that brought him back, the one that lied to him, why did he say, lay my bones with him? And he points to the reason. He said, because what he said, which is at the beginning, right, which is 13:1, it says, behold, there came a man of God. So this is the one that is the carcass and the ass and the lion by the road. So there came a man of God out of Judah, by the word of the Lord. So there's a man that came out of Judah. So the specifics obviously matter. By the word of the Lord. So that means the word came out of Judah, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. So it says, a man of God out of Judah by the word of the Lord unto Bethel. And it says, and Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar. And he cried should be the man that came from Judah. And it says, and he cried against the altar in the word of the Lord and said, O altar, altar, thus saith the Lord, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name. What does that word mean? The name Josiah.
Jehovah heals.
Okay, Jehovah heals, right? And it says, let's see. Yeah, Jehovah heals. And it says, and upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee. So again, remember, he's talking to the altar, right? And he says, and man's bones shall be burnt upon thee. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which the Lord has spoken. Behold, the altar shall be rent. And what does the word altar mean? Go look up that word, altar. What's going to be?
It means altar.
Okay, so altar just means altar. All right. You still got to look up the word because I didn't remember what it meant. All right, so the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. Go look up that word ashes. Now remember, these are ashes of bones. Remember that. It
means the fat or fatness.
Okay, the fat or fatness. Remember,
abundant.
There's okay, right. But remember, there's two fatnesses in the Bible. Right? You got Eglon, who is a very fat man, and then you got the fatted calf. Right? Two things representing two entirely different things, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it says, the ashes be poured out. So I'm at verse 3. I'm sorry. The altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And it came to pass when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of God, which had cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, lay hold on him. So who is he talking to?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's important. It's important,
He's talking to his hand.
He's talking. All right. Well, okay. All right. Well, let me just say this. Let me go to, hold on. All right. Go, hey, Benny, go look up this word right here. All right. So he says, which had cried against the altar in Bethel. Okay. He put forth his hand, and go look up that word hand and tell me if it's the word yadah.
It's yad. Yeah,
yad. Okay. Yad. All right. So it's yad, which is the open hand like this. So he says he put forth his hand. Now watch this. There's two of everything in the Bible. And this is actually pretty important. Man, I'm not gonna play the game today. They're asking, we only got 60 something. They're asking for 40. Nah, that don't sound like good odds. All right. So he says, and he put forth his hand. Now, remember, there's two of everything. There's two types of putting forth your hand. Who in the Bible put forth their hand, and when they put forth their hand, they receive something that 100% is pointing to something spiritual and something amazing occurs. Just give me two.
Oh yeah, little faith. You should just do the challenge. Oh yeah, little faith.
Noah.
Bro, listen, we got 60 people, and it's asking for 40. It's asking for 40, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with. That's called math. All right.
Yeah.
Noah did.
The Kohanim used to stretch out their hands, and then they would see revelation as well.
In the Bible, where in the Bible?
Yeah.
Who? Where?
The Kohanim, the high priests, they would go and stretch forth their hands.
No, I'm asking you to tell me a verse. Show me a verse or a story.
Bruh, Noah.
What about Noah? What about Noah?
He put forth his hand and received the dove.
Yeah, he put forth his hand and received the dove. Okay, who else?
Like I said, the high priest would stretch forth their hands in the Holy of Holies to receive revelation or answers from the Urim and Thummim.
Yeah, who else?
Solomon put his hands in the air when he asked when he was praying for the people, right?
Huh? Who? What?
Moses raised his hands.
No.
On the rock, holding up the rod.
No, I said put forth your hand. That phrase matters.
Oh.
That's the whole point here, is that phrase, put forth the hand. Samson put forth his hand and picked up a jawbone of an ass. Put forth his hand. It's not just trying to tell you that Samson just picked it up. It's 100% pointing to something that has a significant value, right? So
Genesis too, right, Trot?
Well, Christian, whatever it is that you want to talk about, just talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
When God said, lest he put forth his hand and eat from the tree of life.
Yes, 100%. Because in order to receive the Spirit, you have to do it the way Noah did it. Rest. How did rest do it? How did rest receive the dove?
Putting forth his hand.
Putting forth his hand. And I'm telling you, in some weird way, it's hard to explain, but when
when Moses took the snake.
Yes, he put forth his hand. Right. So here, now we have a man. Is Jeroboam, is he regarded as a godly man?
Nah, no word.
No. All right. So in context, now all of a sudden, something, quote unquote, remarkable happens when he put forth his hand. You see it? And not only that, it says, so this is 1 Kings 13:4. It says, and it came to pass when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of God, which had cried against the altar in Bethel. So the man of God cried against the altar of Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar. Okay? Let me see.
Right, so if putting forth your hand is like a spiritual, like you making a spiritual connection, he's doing it in the opposite direction.
Yeah, in the opposite.
That altar is like a devilish altar.
Well, yeah, because it talks about, Jeroboam is having issues. It makes it clear in this story. He's not right with God, this dude. Okay?
Right.
So when it says, and he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, lay hold on him, and his hand which he put forth against him dried up. So notice the phrase, it dried up. What's the opposite of dry? Wet. So this is how you know that it's being shown to him that the living water obviously is not in your presence. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's not just trying to tell us that his hand became a prune and like he got physically hurt, even though that is what happened. But it's saying that in order, like for instance, in order for us to receive the dove, right, quote unquote, the Spirit, we have to put forth our hand to do that. But our hand has to have living water in order for it to reach out to take the dove. But in this case, this dude puts forth his hand and says, take a hold of him, which you should know that he's referring to speaking to the Spirit. That's what he's referring to. But just like when King Saul was told by the prophet that the kingdom, right, he tells him the kingdom has left your presence or has left your house. Remember what the prophet said to Saul? No, the kingdom's been stripped away. I think that's the wording.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's the same thing here, except it's being shown through the put forth of the hand. It's being shown through the hand. So, for instance, Moses said, how are they going to know that, like, how are they going to trust me that you sent me? He said, hey, take your hand and put it in your bosom. And when he took it out, how does it describe it?
It was leprosy.
It was white, right? Which is referring to dead branches. There's two everything in the Bible. White referring to God, it's purity. White referring opposite of God, it's referring to dead branches and dead leaves. They have no life in them, right? Remember how it talks about the statues being white? No? Yeah. So remember, Joseph, he's interpreting the two dreams, and one guy sees a vine with 3 branches. The baker had white baskets on his head, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He did.
All right. And how do you make baskets?
Weave branches.
Right, with branches.
Dead.
But when they die, they dry up and they turn white or they turn gray. Like they no longer have life in them. Okay, so so it says that he put forth his hand from the altar saying, lay hold of him, referring to the spirit. Just like Samson put forth his hand to lay a hold of the jawbone of an ass. Moses put forth his hand. I'm sorry, not Moses. Noah put forth his hand, taking a hold of the spirit. So this guy puts forth his hand and says, take hold of him. And what we see is the power of God has been taken from him because of his withered hand. That's why Moses' hand, when he put it in his bosom the first time, is referring to the death of Adam. And when he puts his hand in his bosom the second time, it's the resurrection. Y'all see? Okay. So, all right. So it says he put forth his hand from the altar saying, lay hold of him, and his hand which he put forth against him dried up, so that he could not pull it in again unto him. The altar also was rent, and the ashes poured out from the altar according to the sign which the man of God had given by the word of the Lord. And the king answered and said unto the man of God, entreat now the face of the Lord thy God, and pray for me that my hand may be restored me again. And the man of God besought the Lord. Somebody go look up the Lord. I want to know what word is right there. Is that countenance?
What was the verse again? My bad.
Oh, we're at 1 Kings 13:6.
6. All right. That besought is.
Hold on. No, hold on. I'm sorry. No, it says, yeah, it says, because it says, entreat now the face of the Lord thy God, and pray for me that my hand may be restored. So I'm still in 6. That it may be restored me again. And it says, and the man of God besought the Lord. And I just want to know if that's countenance, because the guy is asking, entreat now the face of the Lord.
Nah, I mean, this is Yahweh.
Do what?
Are you talking about the word besought or the word
Lord? The Lord, the phrase, the Lord. Not
Jehovah.
It says Jehovah?
That's why it's
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It says, besought the Lord, and the king's hand was restored him again, and became as it was before. And the king said unto the man of God, come home with me. Okay. So because of this dry hand and then this resurrected hand, the guy's telling him to come home with him. And he says no. And we read on from there. Okay. So where are we at? Where are we at exactly with this? What?
I'm laughing because you jumped all the way to the top about why he wanted to verse 32, basically. Verse 32 where it says
32.
For the saying which he cried out by the word of the Lord against the altar.
Oh, yeah. All right, okay, yeah. Thank you. So he says, for the saying which he cried. So the guy said, bury my bones with him, and he gives a reason. He said, for he's saying which he cried by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places. So why would this dude say, put my bones with his bones, and bring up what happened at the altar? That's the reason.
Restoration power, like you prophesied.
I don't know. I didn't hear nobody say nothing. I saw blue rings on everybody's faces, but
you didn't hear me?
No. I can see 2 or 3 people talking, but I didn't hear nothing.
I said because of the resurrection, the prophecy of the resurrection power, or the restoration.
Yeah, that's it. That's the reason. Yes, because of the death, burial, and resurrection. That's the reason. 100%, which is referring to when Christ's body died in the tomb. The Bible says all of our body died with them, right?
Yep.
All right, let's go to a verse that proves it. Pull up a verse.
We have been buried together with Christ. Galatians 2:20. I no longer live, but Christ lives in me.
Right, because we've been buried with him, right?
Yep.
All right, so all right, okay, so we've been buried with him because the man of God is referring to both Adams. That's what it's referring to. That's what all this is talking about.
Man, that's exactly where I was getting to.
Yeah.
I promise you, I was going to say that.
Yeah, I believe
in the
you.
beginning it's the first Adam, and in the end it's the last Adam.
Yeah, it's pointing to both. So the question is, on the road, what the lion, the donkey, and the man, and obviously you can see it because you're like, well, this one's got to represent that, and this. You have all these things that's taking place, but the thing that should help you understand which one is what. The thing that should help is the fact that the donkey is not a female, it's a male, and it's described as ruddy. That's the thing. That's the thing that should help you see like what's what here.
Right. That's what made me think about Christ. At first I said the soul, spirit, soul, and body, but
right. So
once I seen how he laid him on the ass,
well, he did lay him on the ass, but what does this represent? The lion, donkey, and the carcass.
Well, it represents the dead man's spirit.
How about this? Which one?
Hold on. If the donkey is ruddy, now correct me if I'm wrong, but if the donkey is ruddy and the man is dead, would that be like the restoration of the second Adam on top of the donkey?
No. Listen to my question. My question is, before the man came and put him on the donkey, that's before this, what you have in plain view is the lion, donkey, and the dead carcass. So quit bringing up the man. I want to know what these 3 things represent right here. Before
the lion would be the flesh.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What they represent something. It does represent spirit, soul, and body.
The lion would have to be the flesh, the soul would have to be the man, and the donkey would have to be the spirit.
No.
No, I believe it's the soul of God. So remember, the man was being disobedient, so his sins was laid on the donkey.
No, hold on. Why are we bringing up the donkey? Hold on.
Because the donkey represents Christ.
No, hold on. Listen. Before the man comes and even touches the carcass, I want to know what they mean before. I don't know why we keep going to the man being laid on the donkey. I'm talking about before that happens. Listen, before the old prophet was told anything, this man's carcass is laying down beside the lion and the donkey. Don't bring nobody else up. What does this represent?
Would you agree that just this part at least, that the lion would be the flesh?
All right, so what killed the man?
The lion.
Okay, so that can't be the flesh.
I say the donkey is.
The spirit.
I say the donkey is. It carries the burden.
All right, so why? Okay, let me just. This is probably my fault. Why are there 2? Listen, why are there 2? There's 2 lines in the Bible, right?
Okay, so the lion represents Satan.
The lion, wait.
So this lion represents Satan. Okay, and the lion unalived the man, which would be Adam, the first Adam. Correct.
Okay, the carcass. We'll call that the carcass for right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the carcass would be the first Adam. The lion would be the serpent or the Satan, the Shaitan, right? And the donkey would have to be Christ.
Exactly.
All right. So, man.
Or is the donkey Eve? No, I'm joking.
There's two lines in the Bible, right?
Yep.
And right now, what line do y'all have inside of you right now?
The Judah.
Okay.
Judah.
Is that the line of Judah? Is that the line of Judah next to the donkey?
No.
Okay. I just gave you the biggest hint.
No.
I just gave the biggest hint. Huge.
How? We already said that the donkey, that lion is Satan.
Okay. So then put it together, bro.
We just, what do you mean? I just did.
No, you didn't. No, absolutely not. Okay. Why? Listen, hold on a second. Why did Jesus tell the scribe and the Pharisees that their father was Satan? Why did he say that?
Because they're from the first Adam.
Does the carcass represent the spirit of man?
Hold on a second. Listen, my question. Nobody's answering my question. Why did Jesus tell the scribes and the Pharisees that your father is Satan? Why did he say that?
Let me answer this real quick. So the lion represents the dead spirit.
Yes.
Then you have the body, the flesh.
Right.
And then you have the soul of the man.
Right. So how do we know that the donkey's the soul of the man?
Because it's red and ruddy.
Yeah, but
and it's pointing to Jesus.
Well, I know, but I said earlier that it's both. The story is talking about both the first and the last Adam. So how we know that the donkey is the soul of the man is because the Bible tells us that Adam was made a living soul and Jesus was a quickening spirit.
Golly.
Christian, what?
There you go.
I'm about to kick your butt out of here again. You can blame your phone again. All right. So what you should see is that the man now has a dead spirit, which means his flesh is dead. It's enmity to God, and the donkey is the lion cannot eat the donkey. It can't. They don't have the power to do that. So that means in this state right here, that donkey is representing the soul that is crying out for deliverance to replace the lion with the lion of life, the lion of Judah. That's why this man came from Judah.
So the lion was keeping the donkey like hostage.
Yes, that's what happens in the garden. Hostage. So the spirit, soul, and body is this man. If you want to look at it in reality, this man, the lion that is beside this donkey, is talking about the lion that Satan is, because he comes like a warring lion, but he's not the lion of Judah. But he's in the place now. He has dominion now because the flesh is dead. Now he has dominion. That's the line. That's the ruddy. That's why this donkey is a male. That's why the donkey is ruddy, because man was made a living soul. A living soul. And Jesus was a quickening spirit. So in order for this man to be quickened, that line has to be replaced by the line of Judah, which that's what Jesus did. He came and gave our spirit back to us, and we became born again. But we were unalived by that line through the first Adam. And when you see this, when you see the man, right, the carcass getting picked up and put on the donkey, and he takes them all the way back, and then you have this burial that's taking place. This is pointing to the last Adam. That's why he said, bury me with that man. That's the reason. And Dre said he's on a phone call. So the one that asked a question about all this, now he's on the phone all of a sudden. Mr. Will, would you say Satan is the roaring lion roaring about seeking who he may? Yes, seeking who he may devour. Absolutely.
Trey probably got a notification phone call that they got a new pope.
Oh, you are not lying. He is all paying attention about this pope. He is paying.
What? It just came in just now?
Do what?
It just came in just now? I was asking Christian.
Oh, I don't know. Did it? I don't care.
Yes, they saw white smoke.
White smoke. Oh, so they picked another white pope. Oh man. Make a rap song out of that. White smoke, white pope, no hope. I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know, it's funny when Dre said that earlier about the black smoke. I think there was a black pope being considered.
Yeah, no, there is. I saw that yesterday. There is a cardinal. That there is a black cardinal. Matter of fact, I think he's up there in age. I think. Matter of fact, let me take that back. I think all of them are. I don't think like they're super young cardinals, but there could be. But then again, I don't know a whole lot about that. So,
yeah. All right, we hitting what was it?
Well, hold on. We got to ask Dre. Is he good? Dre, you good on that? Man, Dre been asking about that for a minute.
You over there writing his clothes over this Pope situation.
Hey, you in health, my brother?
Hey, that's how we know. That's how we know they were black, bro. It's like, hey, you okay? What's he say, Benny?
Yeah, you in health, my brother?
You in health, my brother? I heard people laughing. I knew somebody was going to crack when I said that. Because sometimes I have people tell me all the time, like, I can't tell when you're playing. I was like, that's the whole point. Rena, what's up, Rena? Dre done caught a plane. Yeah, he did. Dre, what's up? You there?
Hey, if you weak in the flesh, hey, try gonna pull it out of you. He gonna expose it.
Yeah, I sure am. I'll throw something out there. So I'm like, hey man, somebody comes out, hey man, you stop that right now. And I'm like, there it is. Let's deal with that. Got him. Let's deal with that right now. Let's deal with that. So you worship your belly. We need to get you to stop doing that. 100%.
He had to do that twice.
What?
Do what? He had to do it 2 times in case you didn't hear the first one.
What? Do what?
Christian,
I know he heard the first one.
He didn't hear it. Obviously.
Yeah, you see, hey, that's how you know. Hey, that's how you know Christian was raised by women. You see how easy. He's so him being passive aggressive is like his second language. Like he don't have to think about how to do that. He knows how to do that real easy. He knows how to be passive aggressive. Like you just pay attention, bro. Like he's right on point. Right on point, man. Can someone tell me?
Listen, I'm just waiting for the news that Dre is going to perform an exorcism at the Vatican.
All right. Well, I'm tired of hearing about it. Just wait for Dre to come back and bore me with it for 10 minutes. All right, Cincy, hold on. Cincy, what'd you say? Can someone tell me what chapter and verse last discussion when I came in? Cincy, we were at 1 Kings chapter 13. 1 Kings chapter 13. We went over the whole entire chapter again for the 10th time, I feel. But apparently not. All right, where are we going? Where are we at? Breezy, Benny, y'all got y'all's notes, man. I'm ready to play, bro. I got my instrument. I am, it's tuned in. I'm ready to rock.
We're going to 2 Samuel 20, chapter 20.
All right. Let me get this out the way. Give me a second. Oh, you going to come in here and join me now, buddy? I don't know where he's been.
About to play some beautiful music.
That's what, shoot. I've been hitting them notes, that beautiful melody all morning. You hear me? All morning.
Bro, I'm so salty because I got a phone call from work and I couldn't hear that last bit, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, I guess.
What did you miss, or what did you feel like you missed?
Well, you were just saying like you were going over the lion being the soul of man.
Yeah, so I'll make it real simple. I'm not saying don't go back and hear all the rest of it, but you said.
Can you just explain that to me though? Like,
yeah. I'll get to the jugular of it right now. But go back and hear what I was saying, because I did explain some things. Okay, so this whole thing is referring to the first and the last Adam, both the death and the resurrection. It's referring to both, talking about us being put in the tomb with Jesus's body. It's referring to all that. But the first thing we see is, just like Christian pointed out, that there was a beguiling there. A person was lied to, and they believed the lie. And because they believed the lie, they died, right? Isn't that what happened in the garden?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So because this quote unquote prophet, or I'm sorry, man of God, believed. And remember, he's called a man of God the entire time. That's why there's the first Adam and the last Adam. They're both called Adam, both man of God, the one that became unalive, the one that was buried. So basically, because this donkey is considered a male and it's ruddy, it's 100% referring to the soul of man, 100%. The line that's beside the donkey is not the line of Judah. It's the other line that comes to kill, steal, and destroy, period. That's what this line is. And the line that's called a murderer, or I'm sorry, the serpent that's called a murderer from the beginning is Satan. Satan is who unalived Adam. But when Adam died, his spirit was replaced by another spirit. And I don't mean another like they're all floating around. I'm saying it died. Therefore, it's not the same. That's why Jesus called the scribe and the Pharisees sons of Satan. He said, your father is Satan. That's because they had the wrong line, or the wrong quote unquote spirit on the inside of them. And that means death. So this death of this man is pointing to when Adam died, he had a replacement of someone that was, what's the covenant? The covenant had changed. And I don't mean change in the sense that the first Adam chose God, because I know people have a hard time understanding that. But the choice that Adam made was the tree of knowledge and good and evil. That's the choice that he made to believe, and it killed him, period. So what we see here is a replacement of the line. And the Bible says that our flesh is enmity, that it's dead. In God's eyes, the flesh is dead. So the carcass is referring to what our flesh is today. Okay, but in the sense of spirit, soul, and body, this is representing spirit, soul, and body, but in a sense of a fallen man, which is what Adam was. The spirit dying, that's the line. The carcass that's dead is the flesh. And the donkey, because it's a male and it's red and ruddy, that's the part of the man that God hears, that cries out for redemption. So when the soul cries out, we have a replacement of the line. Now we have the line of Judah. But what you see, just like I've explained a million times, that when Satan calls Adam and Eve to fall, he had them as hostages, basically telling God, if you pay attention, he's basically saying, if you punish me for what I did, you have to punish them. That's what he did. And he knows the legal system. So he knows if God punishes him, he knows that if God punished him, he'd have to punish Adam and Eve. So that's why we see when it's like the wheat and the tares, and they say, you want us to go pull up the tare? And he said, no. If you do, you'll pull both of them up. Let them grow together. So God did not want to rip up the tares with the wheat. He didn't want to punish Satan because he would have to punish us. So instead,
hey,
hold on, let me say this. So instead, he sent.
You know what's crazy about that?
Instead, he sent the Dragon Slayer. Anyway, go ahead, Benny.
My bad. I got a lag because I'm on my other device.
You're
anyway,
good.
What's crazy about that is people miss that Jesus is telling that parable, and he's saying this is what the kingdom of heaven is like.
Yeah.
Not just like an earthly thing that's happening. This is the kingdom of heaven. That's a huge thing right there. When people don't think, oh, heaven is just they think it's like a off limits. Like when you play tag and you make it to the base, nothing can happen on base. You know what I'm saying? You can't get me. I'm on base.
Yeah, base.
Nah, everything took place in Eden.
Yeah, everything.
Hey, did you see Passion's comment? He said that lion be lying.
Who made the comment?
Passion. He said that lion be lying.
Passion. Hey, isn't Passion a Eagles fan?
Yeah, I believe so.
What do you? Okay, I see it right here. That line be lying. That line be lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. That line does lie all the time. All right, so that was Dre. Dre, we good on that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Man, there's some more I want to say about that, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Go ahead and bring it out.
Nah, there's no need. Because we're pretty much already covered it already. It's pointing to the death of the first Adam and the returning, like, where Adam's going to go, and the fact that the other prophet wants to lie with the next to the bones of the other one 100% is referring to the death, burial, and resurrection. It's funny. Some people would say, well, I don't see the resurrection here. Like, I don't see the resurrection. It's like, golly, bro. Like, it's like they have to see, like, that person coming back alive. Like, they have to see that. Oh, man. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy, man, how people claim that they know so much Bible, but these things, it's all over the Bible. It's all over the place. And they have to have a verse tell them. The funniest phrase to me, I need to get a shirt that says, show me that verse. I need to make it. I need to make it because it's twofold. It's show me that verse, like when you're talking about some D-scale, like for instance, it'd be like you telling Paul when Paul said, well, Sarah and Hagar are mountains. Paul, show me that verse, bro.
Yeah, you know who does that? There's a guy on TikTok that calls it. There's a guy on TikTok that has merch called BCV.
Hold on. There's a guy that has merch and it's called what?
BCV.
BC Victor. So okay. Bravo Charlie Victor. All right.
Yeah, and he used to come. You did a Christian right there, Breezy. And that's what he used to come to D-Scale, but because we couldn't show him the BCV, which is book, chapter, verse, he stopped coming.
Okay, hold on. So he would ask for book, chapter, and verse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then we shouldn't follow.
And the main thing that threw him off was when you said that Jesus was faith, and he was like, "You're a liar." BCV, book, chapter, verse.
Oh man, what's funny is the book, chapter, and verse is when they're asking him to increase our faith, and he starts talking about a servant. That's the book, chapter, and verse right there. But again, he's speaking parabolically again. So, scripture, not literature. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like I said, it's pointless to argue, man. Look, I'm telling you, you can waste your time arguing with the people in the stands, or you can run your race. It's simple as that, So let's see. Yeah. All right. What time is it? 12. All right, we got some more time, man. So let's go over Breezy, Benny. Y'all ready, man? Give me the musical notes, man. What y'all got?
Yeah, 2 Samuel 20.
All right.
Everybody goes 2 Samuel 20. can't read right now though. Somebody can pick it up.
Oh, listen to this, man. You're the one with the notes, bro, and you can't play it right now. Oh man. Well,
the notes are in my heart.
That's because he's eating Popeyes right now. Put down that Popeyes.
Yeah, put that Popeyes down. He's like, heck no. He goes, I come here so much, they give me a free number 3. Well, I don't know how it happened. Hey, Dre, I don't know how it happened, but I've been checking periodically, and this is the first time that it's been under 7 literally all day. It's almost at a 5. It's a 4 point. Well, actually, it's a 4.6.
We could actually tell, believe it or not.
Really?
I can tell your picture keeps going blurry and unblurry, blurry and unblurry. Not really bad blurry, but you could tell like the quality does die down a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you're right. You have to have 3 for every stream, basically, bro. You have to have 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Because when I was at 7, 8, 9, there was no issue, because I had 6 or more. But now I'm at 5. So it's, let's see, it's all right. Yeah, it's not too shabby, man. I'm gonna run it again just to see.
It looks good right now, though, but it was earlier. You could tell it was going like back and forth.
Yeah, but bro, hey, there ain't a cloud in the sky. Like if there is, I mean, it looks like The Simpsons. Like you can, it's bright. Like it's good. It looks great.
You're lagging right now.
Oh, I see it.
You're lagging right now.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yep, you look like Minecraft right now, a little bit.
Look like Minecraft, he said. Let me turn that off right there. That might help. All right, so let's go, man. Where we at? Benny, what's up, man? Breezy, both of y'all, what's up? Talk to each other. What's the deal? Waiting on y'all.
Somebody read.
All right, I'll read.
Somebody read what?
2 Samuel 20.
Oh, we're gonna read
2 Samuel 20, starting at the first verse.
We're gonna read the whole chapter 20 or what?
Yeah, kind of like how we just did First King.
All right.
So you want me to read it like 10 and somebody else get the rest?
I mean, if you don't want to read, you don't have to.
No, I don't mind. I'll read it.
No.
It'll be like the 3rd time.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hold on. All right, so 2 Samuel chapter 20. That's where we're at, right?
Yep.
2 Samuel.
Yep.
No, 2 Kings. Hold on.
2 Samuel.
Oh, man, I'm way off. I'm saying Samuel, but I'm flipping over to Kings. Hold on.
That's the Holy Spirit leading you somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the Holy Spirit. Oh, man. Holy Spirit just took, I don't know what happened. It just took me over. It made me do something. Guys, the Spirit don't make you do nothing, okay? No, it doesn't. You have to choose. All right, 2 Samuel 20.
The Spirit made me do it, Trot.
Yeah, okay. Keep lying to yourself. All right, let's see. 2 Samuel chapter 20. Okay, so this is Sheba, right? Ain't that where we're at?
Yep.
Yeah, David and Sheba. All right, let's see. 20 is 26 verses. Let's get 2 people to read. So, Nina, you read 1 through 15, and somebody will read the next one.
All righty.
Chris, you got time?
Yeah.
All right, Nina.
What was the verse?
You're starting at 16, but you ain't reading right now. So
16 what?
2 Samuel
20.
2 Samuel chapter 20. Nina's going to read 1 through 15. You'll start at 16 when she's done. Okay. All right, Nina, hit it.
All right. And there happened to be there a man of Belial whose name was Sheba. Sheba or Sheba?
Hey, remember, guys, listen. Remember what I say. Don't waste time trying to get the pronunciation right. I don't care if you say Shebababa. Once you say it, move on. Just keep reading. Okay?
Right. Shebababa, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite, and he blew a trumpet and said, "We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tent, O Israel." So every man of Israel went up from after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them inward, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and to be thou here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou thy Lord's servant and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Chiriites, and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men. And they went to Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stone, which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. And Joab said, Amasa, art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him wherewith in the 5th rib, and shut out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, pursued after Sheba, the son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him and said, he that favoreth Joab, and he that is for David, let him go after Joab. And Amasa swallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood still, and removed Amasa out of the highway to the field, and cast a cloth upon him, when he saw that everyone that came by him stood still. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel, and to Bethmachah, and all the Berites, and they were gathered together and went also after him.
Christian, where you at?
Christian.
Then cried a wise woman out of the city, hear, hear, say, I pray you.
Wait,
hold on, where are you at?
You got to read
16.
15. You got to read.
You said 16. That's fine. And they came and besieged him in Abel of Bethmachah, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench. And all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, hear, hear, say, I pray you, unto Joab, come near hither, that I may speak with thee. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, art thou Joab? And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, hear the words of thine handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. Then she spake, saying, they were wont to speak in old time, saying, they shall surely ask counsel at Abel. And so they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why wilt thou swallow up the inheritance of the Lord? And Joab answered and said, far be it from me, that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri, by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out of Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent, and Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiah, was over the Cherethites and over the Pelethites. And Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder, and Shiva was scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests. And Ira, also the Jairite, was a chief ruler about David.
All right. What y'all got? Breezy, Benny.
Bro, I'm just getting hammered, and they don't miss a shot. Nothing I can do.
Do what?
All right, that's the story, y'all.
It was, but I didn't know there was a team across the way, and I fell off. And
huh? What you talking about?
He's talking to himself. He's talking to himself. Anyway, all right, let's go. What happened now? Where we at?
All right, so let's break this down. We went through there. I'm just talk about a couple things that was interesting. You know what, Benny? I don't think we touched on this first part that says y'all may have I may have missed it, but it talking about the concubines at the beginning. Let me see what verse is there.
And 3.
Yeah, and David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them inward and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. I don't think we touched on that, did we?
Not too much. Not at all, probably.
Yeah, I think we went over this part, but we kind of got into so a massive. All right, so first of all, this man right here, Sheba, is interesting that he's a man of Belial, right? And I looked up Belial in the Hebrew. That means nothingness or worthlessness or unprofitable, right? This man, Sheba, and his actual name means 7. So,
okay, hold on. So Belial means unprofitable?
Yeah.
Okay.
A man of Belial. That's where he's from, of worthlessness.
Yeah, a place of worthlessness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say about 7?
That's what his name means, Sheba.
Yeah. So, yeah, hold on. Let me move this. All right, go ahead.
So, in the first verse, he says, he blew a trumpet and said, "We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance."
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wasn't there something we were supposed to finish? Why are we on 2 Samuel 20?
You're right. The next chapter, 21. We're supposed to finish 21.
Well, why didn't we finish it? All right, I'll tell you. Man, see what y'all do? And then we're backwards. Then y'all are backwards. So we should have done 21st and then 21. See, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all going too fast. That's how I know. Y'all going too fast. Y'all should have known to do 20, then 21, because they're kind of put together. But y'all are in 21, and we're supposed to finish 21, and you're like, hold on, let's go to 20 and see what happened. We should have been doing that in the first place. But all right, let's just finish.
We got to go to 19, then we got to go to 18, and then we got to go to 15.
No, you don't, because at some point the story changes. Like, you don't have to. That's not necessarily true. You don't have to do it. But sometimes when you're doing one chapter, the chapter before and after sometimes has a relevance to it. Obviously, if that's the case, then you got to, let's just go back to Genesis 1. And no, you don't have to do that. The stories themselves come to an end and it starts another area. But it does in some way, like there's parts, in those past few chapters that's going to play a relevance, to it. That's true. But I'm saying if you're wanting to talk about, if you're wanting to talk about a certain chapter, sometimes the one before and after kind of, just like the whole Bible is not about the physical people, Saul and David, Saul chasing David with spears. But there are several chapters that is what it's about. You know what I mean? So, and to understand, all right, so let's just go through there.
I think that's how we kind of got into it. I know.
I'm just
21 yesterday.
I'm just busting your chops. All right, so let's go. All right, so where we at? All right, we got Sheba number 7. Okay. Belial, yeah. Unprofitable.
Sheba, 7, unprofitable. Yep, and he was the son of Betri. Let's see. Betri means youthful. And it says he blew a trumpet.
Hold on. Look, when you say he, there's 70 something people listening. You have to say who the he is. Like, don't just say he. So, when you say he, who's he?
So this man Sheba blew a trumpet.
All right, so Sheba blew a trumpet. All right.
And said, "We have no part in David. Have we inheritance in the son of Jesse? Every man to his tent, O Israel."
All right. What about it?
Okay, so I think it's interesting how he says we have no inheritance in David. We know David means beloved. Let me see what Jesse means. Jesse means I possess. So I'm just trying to piece together the pieces here. I don't think we really touched on this first part, but we kind of got into the story itself when it started. After the concubines, the widow's unalived. We kind of got into it from there.
All right. Well, let me know where you are at. How about that? Let me read this real quick. Lindsay, what's up, Lindsay, on YouTube?
Well, we can touch on the concubines.
That's fine. We touch on whatever y'all want. Let's see. Lindsay. Oh, man, I just saw her comment right here. Give me a second. What's up, Lindsay? She's on YouTube. Let's see. You guys, last summer when we were switching over to YouTube and I still can't figure out how to become a member, and I tried everything from my phone. Should I rescribe to, because I am appreciative of, hey, Lindsay. Yeah. So, okay. So you don't know how to become a team member on YouTube. Yeah, no, I would prefer you to be a team member on YouTube, Lindsay, to be honest with you. If you want to go to Descaled and do that, if it becomes too difficult, maybe somebody can help me. Guys, the screen that do you got an iPhone, Lindsay? Let me ask you that first. Do you have an iPhone? Or an Android, whichever one. Or just keep it the way I'm asking you. Do you have an iPhone? You can just say yes or no, Lindsay, if you have an iPhone or not. Yes. Okay. So, Breezy or Benny, I think Benny, you got an iPhone, right?
Yeah, I got both.
Okay. Yeah. So, hey, can y'all help? Because Lindsay's trying to become a team member on YouTube, and she doesn't know how to get there. So can one of y'all tell her like where she needs to go to, like the screen she's looking at? Where does she go? Like right now on the live, or better yet, the question is, can you become a team member while we're live on YouTube? I think you can, but she's trying. Ask her. Does she see the $ in the bottom right corner of her screen? It's like a dollar sign. She can hear you. She can hear you, bro. Lindsay, okay, yeah. Lindsay, go ahead. Talk to her.
See if you can find that $sign. If you can find that $sign, and click that. Let me know if you see it first. Or let me go to YouTube, as a matter of fact.
But let me say something real quick. With the iPhones, you have to go to like the desktop version of the YouTube app.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's what we figured out with our phones from the beginning.
What is it?
You have to go through the desktop version, like essentially a computer or something.
Yeah, so Lindsay, go to Google Chrome on your iPhone or Safari.
Oh, hold on. Let me say this, Breezy. Are you saying that she has to go to like the www.youtube.com, that thing?
Yeah, on Safari.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, so okay, I don't have a desktop. Oh, she doesn't have yeah, but if on your phone, you can go to
Safari.
You can go to your Safari, Lindsay. Like the internet what is it called? The internet server or
Yeah, it's Safari. It's like a blue and white symbol.
Yeah, go to Safari, and you got to go to like when you get into Google, you got to type in www.youtube.com, and you got to get on YouTube through through the actual internet server, not the app. And it's a little different. And once you get into the to YouTube through Safari, then from there they're saying it's oh yeah, thank you, Hope. Hope's giving it to us easy. She's like, guys, it's called the search engine browser. That's so true though. That's what it's called. So Lindsay, I'm sorry. It's called per Hope, it's called search engine browser. Let's see. I'll try to go to Google Chrome. If not, I'll try desktop at work. Yeah, but you don't have to have a desktop. You can use your phone. No. You can use your phone.
Yeah, you can use your phone.
You can use your phone.
You might have to
go ahead.
You might have to sign into your YouTube account again when you're on the browser.
Yeah. Yeah. So when Hope is talking about that search engine browser, you know, the long rectangle, and you type in what you want to do, you got to go to Google. You got to go to from Safari, go to Google, and in there you have to put www.youtube.com and hit enter. Don't allow it to because they'll try to force you back to the app. Boxer of Faith said, is it by subscription? So Boxer of Faith, it's called subscribe or subscription on TikTok, but on YouTube it's called a team member. So it's just in the wording.
That's Bill.
Boxer of Faith is Bill? Oh.
Yep, that's Bill.
My bad. My bad.
That's Billy Boy.
Y'all killing me with all these names. Giving Grace, everybody's telling me, that's Bill, my bad. Giving Grace always says, you aight. You aight. You'll be aight. Okay, I'll try. Thank you so much. Yeah, Lindsay, I mean, it'd be awesome if you became a team member on YouTube. That'd be great. I try to get everybody to become a team member on YouTube, but there's just people, for whatever reason, they can't, they have to have TikTok. They just have to have it. And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, for anyone that's listening, if D-Scaled has blessed you at all, you know, everything that we're doing, like the podcast, it's about to come out. There's just a video that we have to make. The idea is already there. We're just going to have to make it. It was just going to be like a melody. That's what it was going to be at first. And it's not anymore. It's going to be a short, like, video, if you want to say that. Obviously, there's not going to be any talking. It's just going to be music, and you'll see some stuff like before the podcast starts. But if D-Scaled has blessed you at all, please don't be shy or afraid to become a team member on YouTube or a subscriber on TikTok. They mean two different things. But I will highly recommend to do it on YouTube. But it doesn't matter. It's your choice. You do whatever one you want. But YouTube,
Hey.
what?
Hey, Try.
Yeah.
I know the strength of D-Scaled is on YouTube, but I do want to mention that this TikTok page is doing super well. Last night I was scrolling through a couple lives. You know, there's this comedian on there doing his live thing, but he had like 1,000 something viewers, and he was only in the D League. And that speaks volumes on, you know, I don't know how long he's been doing it or whatever, but that speaks volumes on how well we're doing because we're in the C League above him.
Yeah.
And he was getting constant gifts. And I was like, okay, well, you know, that means that the TikTok, the scale page ain't doing too bad.
Yeah, no, actually, we moved up today. Yesterday, we were C3, and we were somewhere between 50 and 80%. And today, we're C3. Well, I don't know why this thing keeps popping up. We're top 10% today. Yesterday, we were in the 80 percentile. And today we're in top 10. So, let me see. Oh, 99, 203. Yeah, so no, it's not. And remember, every day's different. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but we could be C4 tomorrow. I mean, it could happen, man. It just depends on everything else. But no, you have. Let me say this, and people that have been listening to D-Scaled, there's no way around it, man. It even sounds. It could come off as arrogant. It really can. But let me ask you this: like, somebody look up how many. Somebody look up, or everybody look it up. How many people graduate from kindergarten to first grade every year? Somebody look that up. I want to know. I've never looked it up, but I'm curious what the numbers are. Somebody look it up. I need two people to give me about the same answer. How many people graduate?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. How many people graduate from kindergarten to first grade every year? Like, what's the number in America? I'm just talking about America. And I'm going to show you something that a lot of people don't, either they don't see it, they don't get it, or they just don't care to even think about it. But I'll use this as a point. And then we're going to hop back into
I'm coming back with about 4 million there, Trot.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the same thing.
All right, so it's around 4 million. So approximately 4 million people graduate from kindergarten to first grade every year. Okay, so how many people get their bachelor's degree every year in America?
Half of that, I'm getting 2.2 million.
Okay, what was the first number?
4 million.
4 million?
Yeah.
And you're saying that every year 2 million get their bachelor's degree in America? I need someone to confirm that if that's correct. Okay, Hope said 2.2 million. Okay, how many people in America get their doctor's degree every year? I appreciate you helping out, Ron. Thank you. Ron's coming up with the same numbers. That's why it's good to have multiple people looking it up, because even if all y'all are wrong, you're not going to be wrong by much, because you're all kind of seeing the same thing. Okay, doctor's degree, Hope said 85,000 male, 104,000 female. Well, the reason why females do more because they go to cooking classes and underwater basket weaving. So, yeah, it's a lot easier to learn. Hope. No, but she is telling the truth. There are more women.
Hey, but
that's a
but
fact.
From millions to 57,000,
but I'm showing
that's a large drop.
It's a large. Hope goes, oh, is that right? Is that the reason? All right, so let's look at the numbers again real quick. Okay, so from kindergarten, and if you don't already know what I'm getting to, slap yourself. Okay, but from kindergarten to first grade, okay, the number is approximately 4 million people graduate from kindergarten to first. Okay. And just to get straight to the jugular, I went straight to bachelor's degree. All right. And the number y'all said was 2 million. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So bachelor's degree, it goes to 2 mil. And then doctorate's degree, it goes to, I'm going to say 100,000. Okay, 100K. So let me show you the difference, okay, if you're not understanding what I'm getting at. If somebody starts talking about God, listen, level 1, black letters on the white page. How many more people are learning that right now than they are getting a doctor's degree referring to God? How many more? Would you say it's a lot more?
A lot more.
So let me show you, and this is a fact, okay, because I studied this 10 years ago, if not further. But when people first come to the Lord, okay, we're going to call them from K to first grade. So that's why you'll see these lives doing a lot better, because there's a majority of people who don't even know how to add, so they have to learn. And then you have people that are getting their bachelor's degree, still in the 2 million. So these people already know how to add. Matter of fact, they're working on understanding algebra. Okay? So there's a lot less. And then you have descaled. Descaled, it's a lot less people because we've already graduated first kindergarten through first. We've already got our bachelor's degree. We're working on our we're going from, I skipped masters, but the point I'm making is it's a lot less people. So when you're looking at numbers, thinking to yourself, man, we're not doing as well. I don't think the majority of people that are looking at this are actually doing themselves service, because in reality, there's only so many people that are going to understand what you're saying. And when you start understanding the principle of this, you don't feel bad because of the numbers. So a professor that is teaching people like to help them get their doctorate's degree, they don't feel bad because there's only so many students in their class. Is doctorate higher? Yeah, so when they call you a doctor, it's after your master's degree. And if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me.
That's correct.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
Yeah. So basically, it's bachelor's, master's, and then your doctorate degree. Okay, but I skip master's because I'm just trying to get straight to the point that I'm making. I mean, look it up if you want to. How many people get a master's degree? It's probably 1 million. I don't know what the number is. I never looked it up. But look it up.
We see the point you're getting.
Well, no, but now I'm curious. now I'm curious. You know, I'm curious now. I'm just curious. Like it's halving every time. You know, half. I'm just curious if it's 1 million. Hope said I haven't even started underwater basket weaving. Yeah. Yeah, that's what, and JH is getting the point that I'm making. We're back to the 30, 60, 100-fold, okay? Jesus said some 30, some 60, some 100-fold. Okay, the sad thing is there's so many immature Christians, what are considered converts, that because they're so immature, they don't see things properly. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm saying they don't recognize when they're still in their flesh. So they see someone with a higher understanding, and instead of trying to understand that, they get mad at them and hate and say, something's wrong with them. They're not like the rest of us. So it'd be no different than everybody working on their bachelor's degree, looking at the 80,000 to 100,000 people working on their doctorate degree and assuming since there are more of us, we have more understanding. The truth is the doctorate degree are already where you were. They're growing. You understand? That's why there's less. That's why Jesus said there are few laborers, because everybody is K through first grade. Everybody's been there. Everybody's there. And sadly, people stay there. That's the point that I'm making. So I don't look at my numbers. I look at the quality. You understand? Not the quantity. It's the quality. Jesus said, go and make disciples, not converts. That's why there's always more converts saying, show me the verse. Show me the verse. They don't understand that that's the issue. They don't understand. And it sounds like that I'm calling everybody dumb and all these things. No, I don't understand how this principle is not understood. I do not understand this. You don't see secular people of this world arguing about who's smarter. You don't see that. You may see people that have PhDs or doctorate's degree arguing about their points, but they're not arguing about who knows more. They're just kind of arguing about ideas. But for some reason, we get into Christianity and everybody loses concept of common sense. Now, all of a sudden, we don't understand that people are at different levels. It's crazy. It's so crazy to me. Let's see. Willie, thank you for becoming a team member. I appreciate that. I guess Willie was paying attention to Lindsay when she was asking those questions. So what is it, guys? What is it? How many master's degrees are given out every year? Isn't doctorate your PhD? Yes, doctorate, PhD is the same thing. I just said PhD. It's and remember, guys, understanding, gifts, those things are free. So don't think, let me say this, don't think because the Holy Spirit allows you to slowly start understanding more, don't make that think that the black letters on a white page, you can skip certain things. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that. You need to still understand how to exegete scripture. You still have to learn how to do that. You need to know who's talking to who, why they're talking. You know, don't think, oh, well, I already understand this, so I don't have to. That don't make any sense. Yes, you do. You still have to understand those things. Let's see. Awarded a master's degree in United States in 2019. So we could say 1,840,000. That's approximately $1 million, right? So look at the numbers. Look how funny that is. So everybody goes from kindergarten to first grade, pretty much. That's 4 million. And then a bachelor's degree, it drops to 2 million. And then half of those people go for their master's. And then a tenth of the people that got a master's degree, a tenth of them get their doctorate's degree, right? Their PhD, right? And what I'm trying to tell you is when it comes to the Bible, I don't know how to make this more simple. This same thing happens. The Bible said first comes the blade, the ear, and then the full corn in the ear. So you have to continue to water the seed continually. The Bible says faith come by hearing, and hearing of the word of God. But for some reason, people think that once they go from kindergarten to first grade, they think that's it. Like there's nothing, like there's no third grade. It never ends, guys. God is a manifold of wisdom, and as smart as you think you are, there's more to learn. So even if I was to claim that I have a PhD in God, guys, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not all. It doesn't end there. So when people are smart alecks to me and say things like, well, you don't know everything, you're right, but you're in kindergarten. I know everything about that. Or you have your bachelor's degree. I know everything about that. So to them, they think you claim you know everything. No, I just happen to already have been where you are. That's it. So if I have a doctor's degree in God, I'm just saying, it doesn't stop. We could say it stops at the doctorate's degree, but now it's doctor's degree, degree 1, degree 2. Like for instance, you become a black belt in a lot of mixed martial arts. It'll say that he's a black belt in let's say, I don't know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it'll say second degree, third degree, and then finally, kind of like in the Gracie world, you have one guy that he's got a bunch of stripes on his belt, but his belt is red, right? It's not the first red belt. It's like the master red belt, okay? But they have multiple degrees of a black belt, first degree, second, 10th degree, and it just continues because the understanding grows. Well, I hate to tell you this, if you're in first grade, third grade, you need to stop falling behind, because you're not going to be able to make disciples by being afraid to step up and learning more. And you're definitely not going to make disciples by trying to condemn everybody that's ahead of you. And I'm going to use those words because this is how ignorantly people see it. Oh, he thinks he's ahead of me. Bro, if somebody's ahead of you, they're ahead of you. Grow up. For God's sakes, take your thumb out of your mouth, do something about it, and go continue your education. Just because you have the Spirit doesn't mean your carnal mind knows everything. The Bible says that we do know all things. It tells us that in the book of John, but it's talking about in the Spirit. And our job is to go dig that up. That's what our job is, to go dig up that understanding so we can continue to grow, right? So, we be ninjas. Hope's got a little plant by her name. One day you need to upgrade that to a palm tree there, Hope. Let me see. God is doing now. All right. Let me do this real quick. Let's see. Well, there it is. Man, I hope that number keeps going up. Keep going up there, buddy. Okay.
What's the status on the Starlink drop?
Yeah, I might have to break down, man, and do that. I was hoping I didn't, but I'll tell you what. All right, hey, Benny, Breezy. I'm trying to figure out. Let's go through a little bit of this before we hop off. It's already about to be 1, but let's go. All right, Benny, Breezy, where we at, man? Where are we going with this? Hey,
So
let me say this quick. Hey, JH4JC. Hey, don't waste your time talking to this knucklehead in here. He's in here to argue. So he's trying to get people to roll the dice. Just leave this person alone, man. They're just in here to argue. That's it. Don't get distracted. All right, what'd you say, Benny?
Yeah, so we just the basics, like to understand the story. So we got this guy. He's out there blowing the trumpet, and he is a man of Belial, which means unprofitable or worthless, right? So that should speak to his character right off the rip. His name means 7, and we know in the Bible 7 represents completion. It also represents perfection, but in his case, being worthless, it wouldn't be perfection, right? Unless you're looking at it in the other sense, like he's completely evil or worthless. You know what I'm saying? So 7 also can represent oath or covenant. You can see that in other parts of the scripture. So he's blowing the trumpet. He's proclaiming, hey, we don't have an inheritance with David, every man to his tent. He's pretty much trying to come up with a revolt, right? So we see David responding, and he's sending out his captain and his army. Now, Joab was his captain, but I guess in the previous chapter, it shows us in 19 that he was replaced by Amasa. So that's key. We got to understand that. So Joab was replaced by Amasa. And so he tells Amasa, hey, go gather everybody. And then, we're going to go take care of this. He gives them 3 days, an appointed time. Well, he didn't show up in the appointed time. Well, on the way, he meets Joab, which was the previous captain. And Joab is girded with his garment. He has his sword girded on top of his garment. And then when he comes to him, when he's approaching him, he acts like he's fumbling, like his sword falls out. Because he's kind of like lying in wait. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be obvious and whip his sword out on Amasa. Well, he grabs the sword, and the Bible makes it clear that Amasa didn't notice. He didn't take heed to it, right? Because of the tactic Joab used. He grabs his beard with his right hand, kisses him, and then he unalives him. And so, go ahead, Breezy, start from there. I'm just trying to give the people a recap on like the basic story so they can understand what actually happened in the story. Then we can go to the deeper things. Yeah. So Joab unalived him with the sword, and go ahead, bro.
No, I was about to agree with you as far as his name meaning 7. And we know, that means perfection or completion. Just like you said, he's not perfect. But him coming from Belial, right, which means worthlessness, I would agree with you that means complete worthlessness.
Hey, let Dre get this out. Dre, go ahead, bro.
Oh, brother, we have a new pope.
All right, hold on, Dre, hold on. Put his picture up there because I know you want to. Oh, so bad.
Oh, hold on, I'll go get one. I didn't have one. Give me a second. I'll go get it.
Oh man, let me put him.
Guys from Chi-Town.
The first American pope.
All right, we're gonna see this glorious picture of the new papacy. However you say that.
You might got a face tattoo and everything.
Probably. There he is.
He from Chi-Town, boy. He a shooter with a shooter, boy.
Oh my God.
Coming straight thug going to the Vatican.
Look how happy he is.
Oh,
he said, Mom and Dad, I did it. Yo, Adrian.
Bro look like that. He looked like that one sweet dude that be on TikTok making TikToks dressed like that.
Oh yeah, I know you talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, look, he comes from the West, boy. He gonna unite. He gonna do the ecumenical thing, boy. I'm telling you, all the videos coming now, boy.
That's it.
I can't wait.
The whole Catholic Church just became sus. You hear me? Hey,
100%.
Hey, Dre. Hope said, "Is that Colonel Sanders without the beard?"
Oh my Lord. No, but he does remind me of that guy that Benny's talking about. There's a guy on TikTok. He's like a Catholic, and he talks about how Jesus was GAY and how GAY is good and all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh man! All right, well, that is the denomination of the Catholics. That became their new head, I guess, if you want to say. And
that's the new Jesus on earth. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad.
God on earth.
My bad. Jesus on earth. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Don't mistake the vicar, Trot.
Huh? What?
I said don't mistake the vicar.
I don't know what any of that means. Whatever. And they got cute names, but every one of these people got 5 different names. All right. What's up? All right, check it out. Let's do this. All right, so everybody, please remind Benny and Breezy, don't bring nothing else tomorrow. We need to be talking about 2 Samuel 21. Right?
21?
Yeah. Right? Ain't that what we're talking about right now? Huh?
We're on 20.
I'm sorry. 2 Samuel, because we were on 21 yesterday, and now y'all bring 20. So don't bring 19 tomorrow is what I'm saying. So 2 Samuel 20, I need y'all to bring that tomorrow, and we'll finish
So
that.
that's everybody's homework. Read that, get an understanding of the black and white, and then so we can go through there and knock out some of this.
Yeah, so we can play the harmonica. No, I'm just kidding. So 2 Samuel 20, if you got a chance to read that at least once or twice a day, do so, because after we're done going over 20, we're going to go over 21. We already went over half of 21. We'll do a recap over the first, and then, and we'll finish it. And Esther,
waiting on the connection.
Yeah. And Esther, I said this a few times. I'll say it again. I'm trying to make sure. That when we do Esther, that the Wi-Fi numbers are up, and they were a little bad yesterday. They got a lot better today, and I'm starting to see as the day goes, like when it gets around noon, the numbers get worse. So I'm guessing whatever satellite that I'm using, it just gets more busier, around lunchtime, man. That's, I don't know what that's about, but so that means we got to get on Esther. So listen, this is what we'll do. Let's do 2 Samuel 20 tomorrow and hopefully finish 21. And if we have time, we'll get into Esther and try to finish that out, because it looks like it's going to be sunny the rest of the week. So hopefully that is the case. But anybody got anything to throw out there? Throw it out there now. It's already about 1, and it's a beautiful day. I got lots of work to do, so it's not raining or nothing out there. Anybody?
So when will the rapture be? No, I'm joking.
Right now. I'm gonna rapture everybody out. I'm about to rapture out of this mug. Let's see. On. I need to edit that. All right.
According to Roswell, the rapture already happened.
Oh, is that what he says? Yeah. Well, Rise, him and a couple other knuckleheads, they come in here and learn, and then they just kind of twist it to talk about it however they want to. They do whatever they want. All right. Let's see. What did we talk about today? We talked about 1 Kings 13.
1 Kings 13.
All right.
The old prophets and the young prophet, I guess.
I'll put
the tale of 2 prophets.
No, I'm gonna put lying prophet and Lying prophet.
The gullible prophet.
Yeah. Lying prophet, and then I'll put lying donkey and carcass. How about that? No, you're right though. I could. I don't want to put that though. That's actually not bad. Lying.
Are you saying lying?
The lion,
like a roaring lion.
You got to understand his lingo. So lion and lion is the same thing to him.
Okay.
You got to put it in context.
Right.
So when he said donkey, carcass, and lion, he's not talking about lion. He's talking about lions.
Oh my God! I just thought he said lion. I'm like,
so when he said the lion prophet, he was saying lying prophet.
Right.
That's what I said. Lion prophet.
Okay.
Yeah. He said the lion prophet and then the lion and the carcass. Both lines sound exactly the same, but
you got 3 lines. There's a line, a line, and a line.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, seriously?
Lying. No, it's not lying. It's a line. Lion prophet.
Lion. Okay.
Yeah. Like he does lion
Lion
dancing.
of Judah. Lion. Okay.
Hey, y'all, if y'all plan on coming tomorrow, go brush up on 2 Samuel chapter 20. So y'all kind of have a good understanding of what we going into tomorrow. It's real good. Real good.
Amen. Look forward to it. Bye. Well, somebody drop me because I'm having problems with.
Yes, ma'am. Bye. Yes, ma'am. We got you. We got you.
Us all out.
We got you. We got you. Hey, why is it hard for people to X out?
Because they don't know how to do it.
Oh.
They just don't know how to do it.
Oh.
No, you know what it is too, is that there's this thing that people say, like, if you drop yourself, you lose your coins. Other people say if you drop yourself, you hurt the lives. So I don't know how true that is, but
I don't think none of that is true.
That's 2 things I've heard.
Hope said you lose coins if you drop out. Look, somebody drop out.
That's what I just said.
Somebody drop out. Hold on, Nina.
I already dropped, bro. I dropped and came back. I still have 62 coins.
Oh, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's a lie. I dropped it, came back.
Just lying.
Yeah, just lying.
Yeah.
Lying.
Lying prophets, lying TikTokers, lying carcass,
drawn line. Y'all are drawing a line to draw a line only because the line is lying. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Who told you were naked?
Yeah, who told you that?
I made it very clear I didn't know if it was true or not.
All right.
But you asked a question. I tried to supply you an answer.
You tried to? Listen.
Yes.
Listen.
That's why people aren't dropping themselves.
Listen. There is no try. There is only do or do not.
I gave you an answer. You just didn't like my answer.
Let me say this. If the Pope is technically Jesus, does that mean he just resurrected or reincarnated as somebody else?
No, it means... let me ask you this. What number Pope is this guy?
Well, I don't know what number he is, but he chose the name Leo the 14th.
Okay, but I want to know. Look up what Pope he is. I want to know the number, please. Somebody.
All right. He is Pope number 268th Pope.
Really?
Yeah, 268. Yep.
268? Okay, so then he's the 268 Adam. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the first and the last. So I guess all these popes are considered in between.
Or Peter. They never know.
Oh, man.
No, I guess technically he's the 268th Peter. I think Breezy's right. There'd be. Yeah,
not Jesus. Sense. I thought. Wait a minute. I thought the Peters.
Well, Peter was Jesus. He took on the authority of Jesus over everybody.
Remember,
in the
he
world.
said, "Upon this rock, will I build my church." They think he's talking about Peter.
So Peter is the rock.
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying that because his name means pebble, but the rock is referring to Christ and the Spirit. So when Jesus said, "Upon this rock," because he was talking to Peter. So, for instance, if you asked him if Jesus was talking to Peter when he called him a rock, then that means he was talking to Peter when he called him Satan. So he called.
Oh no, they deny that.
No, they're going to deny that, but you can't deny. Matter of fact, that's why Jesus did what he did, because it's for those that have ears to hear. He was referring to the carnal mind. When he called Peter, "Get behind me, Satan," he was talking about the carnal mind, because the carnal mind is the fowl of the air that tries to steal the word. We see this through the whole Bible. Abraham gets the word, which is these animals, cut them up this way, and the covenant's going to come through this. The fowls of the air came, and Abraham fought them. Well, Peter didn't fight the fowl of the air, the carnal mind. He didn't fight it. He said, "No, let this be far from you. Let this not happen." It was a carnal mind trying to steal the word. And Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan," talking to the fowl of the air, talking to the carnal mind. That's what Jesus was talking to. So when Jesus pronounced or proclaimed, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God," it was the Spirit, right? Jesus said, "Flesh and blood," talking about the carnal mind, "flesh and blood did not tell you this, but my Father which is in heaven." That was spiritual understanding. So because the Spirit was speaking truth through Peter, Jesus said, when he said that flesh and blood had not told you this, but my Father which is in heaven, and upon this rock I will build my church. He's saying he's going to build his church on spiritual revelation, not Peter. So if he's not talking to Peter about the carnal mind, my friend, then he's not talking to Peter here either. He's talking to spiritual understanding that Peter received through the Father. So the rock is referring to spiritual revelation. So when Paul said, "I lay the foundation," if anybody lay upon this foundation, whether it be precious stone, metal, hay, or stubble, it will be tried by fire, meaning that the rock is going to be added to, and whatever is going to stay there, it's going to stay there because it was given by the Spirit, not the flesh. Okay, so that's what that means. It was not talking about Peter. That's how you know that they started straying away. What the people say, what the church is, they started little by little allowing the flesh to take over, and they created this very religious organization. And you know, and they're like, "Oh, well, how can you say that? We gave you the Bible." Y'all didn't write none of the Bible. You're lying. It's such a lie when they say we gave. You didn't give us nothing. What happened is a long time before, y'all did have people that believed in Christ, and Christ used them to translate it in English. That's it. It's no different than what I'm doing right now. Descaled was not given to me by a man. 100% it was not. And what anybody says about that, I don't care. It is true, and man must be told. So I'm telling it. And whether you like it, don't like it, can't stand it, I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? I really don't. But his church is going to be built upon spiritual revelation. That's it. That's how it's always been, and that's how it's going to remain. Nobody is going to be able to bottle up God and say, "This is the organization." You won't be able to do that because he's here a little and there a little. He's like that in the Bible. He's going to be like that in this world. He's going to be here from this generation, from this generation. Nobody will be able to bottle him up and say that this is the church, because the physical mind, body, the eyeballs cannot see the church that Jesus is creating. That's why he said in 3 days, I will rise. He's talking about a temple that's going to come. And the temple that he's talking about is something that cannot be seen. If it cannot be seen, then it is not in any building that you make, period. No matter how bad you want to fight for it and religiously create this organization, my friend, that is not how it works. It will never work that way. It never did. It never will, period. So no offense to anybody, but sometimes Descaled is known as the toe stomper. So make sure you wear your steel toe boots. All right, anybody got anything to say or add before we go? What was that, buddy?
Yeah, somebody brought up a good discussion in the thing. Like, Pope Francis was 266, but for some reason this Pope is coming up as 268. I'm not really understanding why. I'm going to have to study this, even though it's completely ridiculous. But
okay, hold on. Say it again. Hey, hold on, Dre. Say it again slower. What?
Oh, maybe they updated it. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
So apparently the last Pope is 267, but some sources say 268. I'm not really sure why it said 268.
I definitely don't know. I don't know. Okay, anything else, guys? Anybody? Say it now, forever hold your peace. That's it.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. See y'all in the morning. God bless.